Well, the first of my Crash Bandicoot reviews is finally here. Let's dive in and review Crash Bandicoot for the Sony PlayStation. So I give Crash Team Racing a 7 out of 7, and is a huge improvement, and is what I consider to be my second favorite game in the franchise. Or entirely 2D with
Alright, motherfuckers! So I figured that we were gonna do a wholesome little last episode, didn't intend to answer questions, but then you fuckers had to go and ruin everything by asking all of these wonderful, insightful questions that I felt compelled to answer. So, we're gonna do questions, but we're gonna do them first this time. Shake things up a bit.
Let's see if I can shake you up a bit!
I'm gonna put a time code on the screen you can skip to, if you just want to get to the commentary. And it's just me right now. Don't worry, Liam still exists. I'm just recording this well in advance of us recording the commentary, and he's asleep right now because he lives in Upside Down Land. Anyways, if you asked a question after I recorded this, sorry. I'll try and keep track of it, but I make no promises. I'm actually considering potentially doing more viewer question segments after the commentaries are all done. Perhaps every time I make an actual fucking video, I do a bonus viewer questions video or something. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Alright, let's get to the questions. Herbie GameCube asks, wanted to ask this since the Flying Dutchman video. What are your thoughts on the second SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water? Haven't seen it, I'm afraid. I've heard it's good. Maybe I'll get around to watching it eventually. Sorry for the non-answer, buddy. Sono asks, favorite current gen system, and do you still have the top 20 SpongeBob episodes video? Been wondering about that one for a while. My favorite current gen system would probably be the PS4, since it's the only one I own. I kinda hate the fucking thing, though, if I'm being perfectly honest with myself. There ain't no goddamn games. I probably should have gotten a Switch, but I didn't, and I managed to survive so far with my Crash Team Racing and Dragon Ball FighterZ machine. To answer your second question, my top 20 SpongeBob episodes video is long gone, as far as I know. I certainly don't have a copy. In the last viewer question segment, we did talk about it for a bit, so I'll play a clip of that now.
After realizing that, after just seeing that, I think that, you know, even if the top 20 SpongeBob episodes, like, video was still around, I don't think that's good grounds for, like, a STIMPYLAND commentary.
Yeah, it's not.
Now that I think about it. Because I haven't seen that video in, like, forever, but from memory, it was just you listing off, you know, your top 20 favorite SpongeBob episodes and talking about why you liked them so much.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the thing. I wouldn't have much to say about them, you know?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's just, wow, man, good list.
The only thing I would be able to say is I don't agree with that choice. I do agree with this choice. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And hopefully that answers your question. Braden Stringer asks, 1. What would you say is your favorite anime of all time? And 2. Does Liam, sorry if that's spelled wrong, have his own channel, and is he in any of your other content? You spelled Liam's name correctly, and I don't think you'd have much to apologize for if you didn't, so don't worry about it, buddy. I don't watch much anime, to be perfectly honest. I don't know that I'd call myself a dedicated anime fan. I'm more of an animation fan in general. I do end up watching some anime, though, just because most animation comes from either America or Japan. Like, what, am I gonna go to fucking Canada and watch Johnny Test or Total Drama Island? I ain't a fucking leaf, kid, okay? Anyways, my favorite anime would probably be Urusei Yatsura. I pronounced it right this time. Look at that, that's cool. I made some videos about the series that I recommend you check out because I think they're pretty tight. Liam does have his own channel, but he doesn't upload much. He's a little musical boy. So whenever he gets around to actually making some goddamn music, he's probably gonna upload it there. Liam has been in the streams of mine since the STIMPYLAND, and he'll likely continue to appear in live streams, commentaries, and other stupid bullshit just because he's very fun and cool. So please, everyone, if you could, leave words of encouragement for our boy Liam in the comments below. Please and thank you. Nothing is wrong with him. No particular reason that I ask you to do this. I'm just being a supportive friend, you know? You got a problem with that? Whatever. Supreme JP asks, what do you feel about Crash and Spyro's art direction moving forward, and what do you feel personally can be done to improve it? Crash's art has always been hit or miss for me. I'm really not a fan of the visual style of Insane Trilogy personally. I much prefer the visual approach that Spyro took. With Crash, they kind of just took the old models and just added a bunch of stupid details that make them look 4K HD. The absolute unit, B-Mask, made a really good video about Insane Trilogy called Crash, the Insane Trilogy Critique, the Good, the Bad, and the Franchise, which I'd highly recommend you watch since he explains it better than I ever could. Now, Spyro's art direction was much more clearly defined than Crash's. For starters, they had actual fucking concept art, a very novel concept art. Thanks for listening. My discussion would end here, except for the fact that Nitro Fueled exists, and the visual approach with that game is interesting. Some characters really don't look that good at all, unfortunately. Tiny and Dingodile in particular are rather disappointing. I'd like to highlight Tiny specifically for this little argument I'm going to make. I think the original Tiny design was based around a lot of clearly defined, very sharp shapes. He's an edgy boy, you know? In the remake, though, the fur effect is just too much, so it ends up making him look way softer, which has a few unfortunate effects. One, it makes him look way less menacing, and two, makes those previously mentioned clearly defined shapes way less clearly defined. Now they're just shapes. You guys want barbecue or pizza flavored? Let me know, because I'm going down to the 7. I think the fact that the engine is shit, but also the lack of clearly defined shapes causes Tiny to be a victim of some very bad lighting. Most characters with the fur effect are victims, unfortunately. Next time you start up the game, try this, actually. Go to the character select screen and pick Tiny or Dingodile or even Crunch. Then just move the camera around and look at them. Notice how strange the colors on them are. Seriously, like, what the fuck is going on right now? Thing is, this isn't consistent. Some of the models unfortunately don't look very good, but some of them look fucking fantastic. I think Real Velo has the best model in this game. So many clearly defined shapes here. Seriously, just look at this bastard. He's very sexual. I think as a result, his expression is always super readable. Plus, while not completely immune, he's much less susceptible to bad lighting. I think Beanox understands these concepts. I don't think they absolutely nailed the designs of some of the CNK bosses, like Real Velo, obviously, but also Nash and Geary. I don't think they did that by accident. The fact that they understand what makes a good model just makes me wonder why they didn't go back and touch up Tiny's model, or any of the other Insane models for that matter. I hope that we go back and redo some of these Insane models since they're shit. Get whoever did the CNK bosses models, they did a good job. Anyway, there's your question answered. Now don't ask me for anything ever again. Thank you. Kid with Daddy Issues asks, Hey Stimpy, I got one last question before the last episode of the commentary. Did you ever read the Crash Bandicoot manga? Personally, I don't like it. Bazinga. Bazinga indeed, my friend. I haven't read all of it, but I remember liking the little of it that I read. But that was a few years ago, so who knows what was going on in my head. I'd like to take a look at it eventually, just because, even if it's shit, it exists as a cool sort of time capsule, I guess, to the time that this series was being promoted in Japan. The whole idea of a Western character making it big in Japan is just cool to me. It normally doesn't happen, because those motherfuckers be nationalistic and shit, bruh. But, yeah, that's all I have to say, actually. Thanks for your question, punk ass. Anyway, 2004 Flippy asks, Do you like this game? This was on a video called What If Nitro Fueled Used the Pre-Console Mixes Instead of Shitty YouTube Rips. And to answer your question, it's alright, I guess. Surprisingly decent half the time, impressively terrible for the other half. Tons of great single-player content, shit online that doesn't even work half the time, like that time they broke it for 2 weeks. That was cool. Very funny. Awesome new blue fire mechanic, whack as fuck collision. Great new tracks, babies and microtransactions. The list goes on. I guess it depends if you're a glass half full or glass half empty kind of person. Either way, I'd recommend avoiding this game just because of the stupid microtransactions. Wait for the inevitable PC port and pirate that shit, or just get a hacked Switch. Now for the last question, Heracross eBooks asks, You happen to remember somebody named Joseph Meza from your Facebook page? You're staring at him. Also, isn't what Badman said about you losing interest in gaming as a whole around the time you were gone and Insane Trilogy revealed true? I recall seeing him say that like this to someone on the Twinsanity collab when they asked what you thought about Insane. PP. Allow me to answer your question with a question of my own. Why the fuck my PP hard? No, I'm afraid I don't remember you specifically, Joseph, although I'm sure I would if I came across any of your posts. It's been a while since I used Facebook. I shut that page down pretty swiftly, if I remember correctly, and I quit using it entirely about a year ago now just because it ain't good for you in my opinion. Regarding what Badman said, for a very, very brief period of time, that was true. Well, it's more accurate to say that I had become so insufferably edgy that I deemed video games, of all things, as not cool, but I secretly loved them the whole time. Shh. For this brief period of time, I'd shame people for liking games, which meant like 90% of my friends, you know? That was definitely not my smartest move. Thankfully, I snapped out of it relatively quickly, and then when I did, I think that's when I finally decided to start, mellowing the fuck out, and I stopped judging people over harmless bullshit. I think it's something that I kind of needed to go through. I'm always optimistic that things will get better, but sometimes they have to get worse before they get better, and I think this was an example of that, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that answers all of your questions. This was surprisingly pretty fun to do, so if you keep asking questions, I might get around to making a viewer questions video, maybe someday. Now, without any more delay, let's get to the commentary. Tran, this Genders should be killed. Welcome back, everybody, to the STIMPYLAND commentaries, the finale, the final episode. You just got done watching a fucking cute little viewer question segment I did. And now we're doing the actual video. I'm here as always, Michael, aka MONSTRO, aka STIMPYLAND, whatever you want to call me. And we have Liam here. Liam exists.
Hi!
And we have another guest. We have another person here. How do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Badman Reviews, and I make videos. Sometimes, not always.
Yes, we got the voice. I said this was going to be a little video that wasn't going to have much effort put into it. I lied. You got trolled. Haha. It's a big epic finale. Anyway, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think we're just going to jump right into this one. I don't know what I want to say before we start. You might know more about this video than me, Badman.
Probably.
You might know, yeah, you probably will remember more. Well, the thing is, because I don't know how familiar you are, like, how many episodes you've watched, but it typically tends to go, like, I don't remember anything before we start, and then I recall a bunch of stuff, like... Or I recognize a bunch of stuff, I mean to say. I recognize a bunch of stuff in the video, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say this is right around the renaissance of Badman. This is like the 5 videos around this area were like all my favorites, and they still are, so...
Nice.
I'm in a bit of a renaissance myself, although I just don't upload much, but, like, I just put together a playlist on my channel people can watch. I remember I named it something dumb. It's just like 4 videos. It's the videos I've made on the current channel I'm on now, where, like, they're actually, it's not just shit posts, it's actually, like, me talking and, like, saying stuff, you know? I've got the Fighters video, and then I got the 2 videos on that anime, and then I got the Crash Bandicoot, Can You Beat It Without Spinning video. I don't even remember what I named it. I think it was, like, something dumb. I don't know. And I feel like I'm really proud of those videos. I think those videos are better than...
the answer?
What was that?
Can you beat it without spinning? Now I'm interested.
Oh, you haven't seen that video. Fuck, I probably
watched the video to find out.
I should have fucking sent it to you. Well, the answer is no, but you can do it in surprisingly few spins.
Oh, that's
I'll
cool.
just say, to beat the game 100%, you only have to spin 32 times. Spoiler alert. But yeah. Which is like...
decent amount more than I thought.
To beat the game 100%. To break every single box.
100%. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, like 5.
No, to beat the game any percent, I think it's 11. But yeah, surprisingly not many.
That's closer to what I thought.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I got a water bottle. Stay hydrated.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Let's just start this shit already. Hey, everyone.
I was just going to say...
Oh. You go
Epic.
ahead.
I was just going to say, the one thing, I can't really remember this at all either. I thought I'd just put that in there, but I feel like just because it's the Twinsanity review, I feel like there was the camera inverted joke.
There was.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that song?
Yeah, I remember
Okay,
that.
I did speak to Pat about that. There was a part, you know, because he was saying, I don't think I made a second remix. And I'm like, yeah, you did. And as it turns out, you did. I think we broke that down on, because the thing is, it's going to be weird talking about this, because we kind of already spoke about this game, because remember, I did 2 Twinsanity reviews. And the first one, I did on a live stream, I did it with Liam and Pat. And that was because that was the episode we fucked up. That was the episode that we just messed up completely. So we decided to live stream it instead. Shake things up a bit.
I remember when we started writing the script, you were like, yeah, I made this really shitty joke in my first Twinsanity video, and I want to revisit it in this one. And I'm like, yeah, fucking go ahead, man.
That's interesting.
Awesome.
Because I don't remember much about, like, me approaching you to, like, work on the video. So you would probably know more about that.
I don't remember if it was me that approached you or you that approached me. I think I just remember people in my comments being like, you should check out this STIMPYLAND guy. He's a fucking weirdo.
I remember you commented on, like, a few of my videos. I do remember that. Like, that's kind of how we started talking. And the thing is, what's cool is we have been talking, like, throughout the years. Like, this is the first time we've been in a call in, like, a while. But, like, we've been, like, chatting on, like, Facebook and other places like that. We've been doing that pretty much since we made that video.
Yeah,
so,
and I still constantly get comments on my fucking videos. Hey, is STIMPYLAND dead? Is he gonna make videos again?
The good thing is now you have, like, literally hours upon hours upon hours of content of me just talking about nothing but the STIMPYLAND. So now you can say, hey, go check out this video and don't ask me anything ever again. So now you have an answer to it finally. Don't talk to me or my son ever. Don't talk to me or the Stimpyland ever again. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's just let's get into it.
Hey everyone, the Stimpyland here. Now, I know it's been quite a while since my last video, and I apologize for not having so many videos up, but today I'm finally back, and I'm going to describe in...
Oh, I remember this. This is really weird. This is like my attempt at sort of like a skit, is like I have the video glitching out, you know?
Yep.
It's very weird.
That's how you wanted to introduce me.
Which is just weird. Like, I kind of glitched my way into your video.
Yep.
Which is interesting, because it's kind of like, I guess that kind of ties back to Crash Twinsanity, but I don't think I ever elaborate on that. I should have been like...
I think it was more like our videos glitched together into one video.
Yeah. Which is an interesting concept, because one, you've got, you know, Crash and Cortex teaming up, I'm teaming up with another reviewer, and then also the fact that Twinsanity is glitchy as fuck. You know, our review's glitched. But I don't think I ever, like, actually mine that for what it's worth.
Nope.
I'm just like, oh, hello! You want to make video? Well, we're gonna see what happens, so...
Yeah.
Detail why I think Jak and Daxter is mediocre.
And you know, I guess that's why I've always been so biased towards Sora X Cloud fanfiction. It's so beautiful and simple, but at the same time,
little short story there. Those pictures were not that hard to find. They were already on my hard drive before I made this video.
Fucking cool. They were just on the hard drive.
There was a video on my channel before Badman Reviews existed, and before everything before Badman Reviews existed. And yeah, it was just kind of there. Yeah, it's not there anymore. Don't fucking bother looking. It's not even on YouTube anymore. Not even looking at it. I just deleted it.
Somebody hack into his fucking files and find those pictures.
Yeah, they're gone now. They're on my they were on my old laptop that's fucking destroyed. Speaking
of computers being destroyed, that happened to me fucking not too long ago. We lost a fucking bomb-ass Minecraft server. It was really shit.
It's weird looking at this too, because like I haven't lived in this.
Because you look like you're coming in this picture. That's why.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I look like when I do it. A, this was before I started balding. B, I haven't lived in this house for like fucking 4 or 5 years, so it's weird looking back at it.
I'm balding too. Totally sick.
Yeah,
awesome, dude.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I've got plenty of hair. Fuck you guys.
Fuck you. Weird flex, bro.
Yeah, well, what was I saying? This is weird because you're on video. You know. There we go. That's a little less unflattering.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, what is it? It's funny because you're on the video. You're on the video, but I meanwhile fucking, you know, it's just my disembodied voice, which is really strange. You know,
you do one video shot, but it's not your face. It's you fucking. Well, we'll see later on. You know what I mean?
I don't remember.
Wow, interesting.
You do one camera shot. I remember that.
I don't remember, but I'll remember it when I see it. That's typically how these things work.
That's the surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's why I've always been so biased towards Sora X Cloud fanfiction. It's so beautiful and simple, but at the same time, so elegant.
Who the fuck is this?
Who the fuck am I? You can't just come in here asking me shit like that. Who the fuck are you? How do you like that, huh? Fuck you.
Well, I'm the Stimpyland. I do reviews of games and whatnot.
Dude,
that's such a fucking weird cut.
Well, I'm Badman, and I...
Oh, shit, dude, we got a fucking blooper?
Yeah, I fucked up, and you're just like, I'm gonna keep it in there. I'm like, hell yeah.
Dude, this is great. Liam loves this shit. Because, you know, Liam just adores, for some reason, he thinks, like, the bloopers are the funniest thing. Like, probably my favorite, one of my favorite moments throughout the whole series of commentaries was me just leaving in a blooper. Like, I did it on purpose, but in my old Crash 3 review, I left in a blooper, and Liam just laughed at it for like 5 minutes. It's pretty funny.
Well,
I love
laughing again. Let's see if we can get him to laugh for another 5 minutes.
Stimpyland. I do reviews of games and whatnot.
Well, my name's Well, I'm Badman, and I do the exact same thing. Well, of course, when compared to the Stimpyland, my videos are only half as good. The Stimpyland is much better, sexier, and more handsome. And
is that like you're reading the script I gave you?
Yep.
He's the Stanley Kubrick of reviewing games, and I'm just a taco, burrito, eating fart, diarrhea, banana.
What the fuck is that?
I'm not reading your script anymore. This is just ridiculous. Who writes that? Who writes that in a collaboration? You are horrible.
Did you write that? I'm pretty sure you wrote like all of your segments. Because I think that was
no. I'm pretty sure you wrote like I think you wrote about 80% of the script and sent it to me, and you're like, "What do you think of this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's good." I know I
let you say I know I let you say your own stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of like I think it was more like we like talked about our feelings on the game and like our perspectives and our thoughts on it, and then you scripted most of it, and then you gave me the script, and I edited it to my own. And then I know back then when it came to the on-camera segments, and still kind of to this day, I just wing a lot of it. So
I see.
A lot of that was probably like close to the script, but not exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I don't remember saying you're a taco burrito fart. Like, I don't remember that.
Probably not.
Because I am bad at, like... That's interesting, because I am very bad at...
I think the end of that script was pretty much just, like you just put, like, ... or, like, and drags on or something like that, and it was just, like, fucking go with it.
Interesting. Because, like, the Stanley Kubrick of video game reviews sounds like something I would write.
Yeah,
but then taco burrito
that
fart
would not
doesn't
come out of my mouth.
Yeah. Which was just good that you look kind of like confused when you do it. You're like, the Stanley Kubrick? Because it's
like, who the fuck is this guy think he is?
Fucking punk ass.
Obviously Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Human being.
Well, anyway, since you're here, you want to do a video with me?
Yeah, man, it's been a while.
Hold on.
That's such a bad... I was so bad on camera back then. It looked like I just fucking didn't, like...
You just didn't care about anything. Yeah. I'm sorry we have to pause on all these unflattering pictures of your face.
I'm fucking... Dude, there's no way you can pause on a not flattering when you're in a fucking video.
True.
Now you're just trying.
Yeah, I'm not gonna find it.
Well, anyway, since you're here, you want to do a video with me?
Yeah, man, it's been a while since my last collab. Huh. Now the question is, what game are we gonna review?
I was thinking that we should take a look at what many diehard Crash Bandicoot fans...
I like how the monitor changed to Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I timed that out. I think my hand's on my laptop.
Yeah, because you could see your arm kind of going over there, like, to touch it. That's pretty funny. That kind of stuff is... I like that kind of stuff, just like weird stuff going on in the background while, like, I don't know. I kind of have a soft spot for that kind of shit. Like in movies.
I'm glad I could touch your soft spot.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I love it when people touch my soft spot.
A staple in the series. This elusive game being... It's in the title. It's in the title of the video. Just look down or up or wherever the fuck they put the title now. It's Crash Twinsanity. Roll the footage. Just get this over with.
Oh, and dude, fuck, I just remembered.
Crash has yellow shoes.
Crash has yellow shoes, yeah. Thank you for pointing that out.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, look. In the Crash Twinsanity box sign is yellow shoes. Look.
What the fuck? That's not right. That's wrong.
Yeah. I guess I should say this right now if you're not aware. I am like not a huge fan of this game at all right now.
I fucking love this game. I'd still love it. Eat a dick.
Well, my thing with this game, I guess we'll talk about this now. Like, I can probably elaborate on my opinions on Twinsanity. Is like, I don't think it's a game that there's absolutely no point in playing. Like, it's pretty fun to break and obviously very fun to speedrun. But I think, like, as a casual game, it's unfinished. Like, that's the problem. It's just it clearly should not have been released like that. And it's like, you know.
But I don't know. I think for an unfinished game, I still think it's a fucking fun experience and it plays decently well. And I don't like. That's just coming from me. I've played the game 3 times through and I've not come through like a single glitch. Though I've always played it on the Xbox version. I don't know if there's a huge difference in glitches compared to the PS2 and the Xbox version.
I know like most speedrunners, I'm pretty sure they use the PS2 version. I could be totally wrong about that, but I feel like most of them use the PS2 version.
Yeah.
So there might be a difference, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I played through the game like 3 times and I have not had one single glitch on it.
The thing is, I will say, when you're playing the game, it's like it's not too terrible. Like you're probably not going to run into glitches if you play it like just casually and you know what you're doing. But like it's easy to break. It's easy if you go out of your way to try and find glitches. It's not like it's not very hard to do. You know what I mean? Like when I was little, when I was 12,
there wasn't a huge like QA team behind you know fucking pushing buttons into a wall for long enough.
They didn't do that for a second. Like, you know. Well, I remember I broke the game when I was really young.
The fucking floating hoverboard or whatever it was.
Yeah. I remember one thing I discovered, like, when I was little, I found out how to do this was, because I was really just trying stuff. There's, like, you know, Cortex is firing those, like, lasers at you, you know, and shit. Like, he in his first in his first boss fight, he fires that big blast that you're supposed to spin back. Just jump on it. If you just jump on it, you know, for some reason it doesn't kill you. And instead, you could just ride it and you just fly upwards. And, like, you could do that until, like, until the game just basically, it just deloads everything and then you just fall down and die. And that was, like, that's, like, level 1, and when I was little, like, I'd already played the game to 100, you know, I'd already played the game, not to 100%, but I played the game to completion at this point, so, you know, I was, like, pretty familiar with this game when I was little. And, like, you know, I found out how to do that, like, within, you know, just, like, the beginning of a playthrough. I was like, you know, what if I did that? And, yeah, that just works. It's like, they didn't test the game at all.
Now, I'm curious. This just came into my head. You're watching this on my channel, because I still have it. How do you guys do all the fucking other videos? Do you have them up somewhere?
Like, fans have sort of compiled them together and re-uploaded them. Okay. A few of the reviews were lost. Unfortunately, one video is, like, pretty much lost for good, which was top 20 SpongeBob episodes. I did a video like that, although Liam and I spoke about that more on, like, another commentary. But I managed to find, actually, on, an old second channel of mine, the Mind Over Mutant review, which was believed to be, like, lost, which is very interesting. So for, like, 6 years, nobody had seen that video. And then I showed it. Yeah, it was very cool. Because I kind of find, like, lost media to be really cool. And then the fact that, like, I kind of had, like, lost media found STIMPYLAND review. That shit was
I do videos on that. You guys should come check it out. Yeah. You want to have one on Bionicle.
Oh, yeah, not so subtle plug, yeah. But check out Badman's stuff. I honestly need to, because it's been a while since I've watched, like, any of your stuff.
To be fair, I'm actually working on a Lost in Media video right now that's hopefully going to come out soon. It's on fucking Mario games. So,
well, I will watch that when it comes out. And I'll leave lots of funny comments.
Don't lie to me.
Yeah. I'll watch it. I'm forgetful.
You don't love
I'm going to subscribe to you right now. There, see? I don't know why I wasn't already subscribed, but there you go. Anyway, fucking
STIMPYLAND.
Let's go. I was going to say more, but it'll just come up during the review, so.
Twinsanity. Roll the footage. Just get this over with.
Oh, and this is what I was going to say. This is a unique intro made just for this video, and it's very cool.
I love this.
It's really weird. Here, I'll just let it play, and we'll talk about it after.
I've always loved this intro
on all your videos.
It's not just this one, like, just your intro in general, I fucking love.
Yeah. Pat strikes back, amazing as always with these intros, and he's only gotten better at this sort of thing, so, yeah.
Oh, I know.
I'm the Badman Land, traveling into parts unknown. Now come with me. Join me on my journey to do things!
Hey, that's my intro!
And the Comic Sans.
Hello, ladies.
That was great. Yeah. It's funny because I said it like, I remember I did quite a few takes of me going, hey, that's my intro, and I couldn't get it to sound right, and Pat, I think because Pat, like, the thing is, this is Badman featuring the STIMPYLAND, but honestly, it should be, like, the Badman and the STIMPYLAND, but most of the work done by Pat, because, like, he helped a lot with this video. And, I remember, like, I was talking to him when we did that, and I was like, I kept saying that, like, hey, that's my intro, and I couldn't get it to sound good for some reason, like, I just wasn't satisfied, and he just said, just make it sound stupid. And then I said that, like, hey, that's my intro! You know why I sound like that?
Yeah.
And he was like, now you can't even tell it's you. Like, it doesn't sound anything like you. It's like, and then,
he fucking told me, I would have just believed it was Pat, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My intro!
I like the fart sound. And the Comic Sans is pretty good.
Shit comes on the screen at my face inside the explosion.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. Our faces collide and then we explode, and that's how it wraps up. The video should just end right there. But yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlebutts. I'm back, and I'm joined by a special guest, Badman Reviews.
Hi.
This is my first collab, aside from one other Crash.
That was nice and abrupt. Hi.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's like, that's the thing, like, this video
reminds me. I was gonna say that just reminds me of, like, a fucking SpongeBob bit, just like having SpongeBob in the background.
Yeah.
Hi,
like, and I'm with stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fucking, that's the thing. This video, it's like, it's kind of just, like, harmless and fun. Like, this video's aged better than most, because a lot of the videos have just not been the best, because you see I'm very sort of, like, high and mighty, you know, I'm always, like, my opinion is the objective fact, you know, and I do all that dumb shit. I've talked about that for, like 14 episodes now, so I'm not gonna bother explaining that again, but, you know, like, those have, like, it's been fun to watch these, but that shit's always kind of been a bummer, you know? Like, there are times where it's really funny, like, I put a fucking over 9,000 joke in my Crash 1 review, and Liam and I got really excited about that.
I think the funny part, too, is that I remember seeing your comments, and, like, people would argue with you about shit that you said in your video, and you would fucking just go at them in the comment section.
Yeah, that's something that's not good. I was
shit right there, man.
Yeah, dude, it was dumb. But, you know, I
don't know. That's what I've always just tried to go for with my reviews. Just have fun. If I'm having fun, the viewers will have fun.
This one is certainly more like fun, I would say. And I think what's good is the fact that I, you know, was working with you and I didn't want to like tear down your reputation. I kind of had to, you know, I had to sort of control myself. Like, you know, I couldn't be
my
like
reputation. I'm pretty sure back then we had like the same sub count, man.
Yeah, you got way more, and I stopped growing because I deleted the channel. But yeah.
Well, yeah, that's usually what happens when you delete your channel.
Yeah, you usually stop growing. That's like
when you commit STIMPYLAND.
Yeah, when you commit STIMPYLAND, that's a pretty good way to kill your growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I kind of enjoy this video just for the fact that, like, you know, it's harmless. You know.
Yeah.
At the absolute worst, it's just harmless. You know.
Oh. Yeah.
I would say my only real you know, I'm not crazy about the sort of, like, skits in the beginning of the video, although I know there are people that like that, but I tend to prefer the more
I mean, that's my thing, so, I mean, it fits my half of the video, at least.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But, like, even not in this video, I kind of always did that. I kind of prefer, I prefer the more sort of video essay type stuff. That's sort of the direction that I've wanted to go in. And I have some stuff planned that's probably going to be, like, in that vein, you know.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty hype. You should definitely watch.
I can't wait to subscribe to the STIMPYLAND just to have the channel ripped away from me in a year and a half.
Fuck yeah, dude! I'm gonna delete it again, and then we're gonna do the MONSTRO commentaries. It's
gonna
be on my
20.
channel.
That it's just the cycle of STIMPYLAND. You hit like 20,000 subscribers, delete the channel. 2 years later, do a commentary, make a new channel.
Yeah, there's gonna be the MONSTRO commentary on my channel. That's gonna be the name of the new channel. But yeah, anyway.
Hell yeah.
I would just say my thing with this video is I just don't agree with most of the criticisms now. Just because this game has soured on me a lot. Yeah, sorry.
If anything, I've loved this game even more than... Because I'm pretty sure in this video I'm kind of like on the fucking fence about it, and now I'm just like, you know what, I fucking love this game.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is definitely the biggest change to the STIMPYLAND's attitude. You like Twinsanity? That's A-okay, bruh. That's A-okay by me.
That's good.
But I just personally... I'm not a fan of this one.
Yeah. I want another 3D platformer Crash like this. I would love that.
I would... You know, I was going to say something. I really, really, really like Mind Over Mutant a lot. I've been playing
I remember you tweeting about that, I think.
Did I? Tweeting?
No, I think... Maybe there was someone else who tweeted about it, saying that they liked Mind Over Mutant, but... Oh, I think it was Lonely Goomba. I saw him tweet about it. He was like, yeah, Mind Over Mutant, really good game, but... It just, you know, it wasn't Crash Bandicoot. It was too different, so everyone hated it.
Oh, I disagree. I think that game is pretty Crash Bandicoot. Like, certainly more than Titans. And I would honestly argue... I guess we're gonna get all this sort of discussion out of the way now, and then we're just... When we get to, like, the meat of the video, we're kind of just gonna... We're gonna watch and not interrupt as much. You know?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm gonna be honest. Something I've been thinking about recently, because I played Mind Over Mutant, like, only, like, a few weeks ago. That game feels like pretty...
Is that the second one?
Yeah, because Titans was like the first, like, of the soft reboot one, and then
I started Titans. One. I haven't played Mutants yet. I started Titans, and I'm like, this is alright, I guess.
I think Mutants is better. I think Mutants has a few... Like, it's not perfect, and it's not as good as the old games, but I feel like Mutants is definitely, like, a much more authentic sort of evolution of Crash than something like Twinsanity is, because, you know... One of the things that I think... Well, this is my opinion. One of the things I found to be unique about Crash, you know... Over the years, I've sort of noticed that, you know, it was one of the first times that they were sort of experimenting with 3D gaming and shit. And, you know, that for Mario, it was like, okay, we'll just give you control of the camera, you know, and you get, like, a wide open space to explore, while with Crash, it was more like, let's just take a 2D platformer and just turn it on its side. And then let's play with the camera a lot, you know? So oh look, now all of a sudden, you're going straight and then you turn right and you have a whole side scroller. It's like it was a 3D platformer, but it was obviously very linear, but also the camera was always in a forced, perspective.
Yeah. And then they took the camera and fucking placed it backwards and scared the shit out of you with a polar bear.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah,
But
dude.
something that I've noticed is with Crash Twinsanity, they just kind of give you control of the camera freely. While in Mind Over Mutant, you actually can't control the camera in that game. Even though it's a 3D platformer, you can't control the camera in it, and it's not the worst thing ever. Granted, having an unmovable camera isn't uncommon for beat-em-ups, but it's very much not the standard for 3D platformers.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are other 3D platformers that exist that don't allow you to move the camera. But, it just felt so, I just want to say this, it felt so right for Crash just to have, a game where it's like, just like the old games, you can't move the camera. They get to play with the camera angles and they get to show you unique stuff, that game just kind of feels, very atmospheric and stuff. It's cool. I like it.
I guess it's just like a mix of like not being a huge fan of beat 'em ups and then like not being a huge fan of like not having camera control, because it seems like not having camera control in a game nowadays is just kind of like a step back. It's just like that's just something you should have. Like when I look at it, I'm like, I would love if the next Crash was like Twinsanity-esque, like at the fucking quality of a Hat in Time. That would be good. I'd be happy with that.
Interesting, yeah. I would honestly prefer something kind of like Mutants where they sort of force the camera, like that, and they kind of play with, cool camera angles and stuff. That was one of my favorite things about playing Mutants was like, you'd walk up to this fucking like, building and the camera would zoom out and you'd get like this low angle where the building's like towering above you. Or in Titans did a lot of that too, with like the Uka tree and shit in that game where it's fucking massive. It's great,
Yeah.
And also those games,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that game because I haven't tried it yet.
I definitely think you should, and you can get it on the 360. And I have
both of them. I just haven't played them yet.
You should definitely play them. I think they're really good. Like I'm gonna be honest. This is a controversial opinion. I think Titans and Mutants are the best post Naughty Dog Crash games. That's my opinion. And I think I like Mutants more. But
I was gonna say, did they do nothing? And then I was like, no, Naughty Dog.
Yeah. No, that was.
I know what you mean.
That was Radical Entertainment.
Like once they're gone. Yeah.
The best post Naughty Dog.
To be fair, there isn't a huge amount. Like it's like the Mind Over Mutant and then like Twinsanity. And if you're talking straight like 3D. Oh well, fuck yeah, that game.
I don't mind that game now though. That's the thing. Like I was way too hard on that game when I made that long ass video.
Dude, I loved that game when I was a kid, and then I went back to it for a review, and fuck that game, man. That game is garbage.
I think it's like, it's kind of like
it's hot doo-doo garbage diarrhea.
I spoke about it for a very long time.
I know you made like a fucking hour 40-minute video on it,
and then I did like a 2-hour commentary just on that video.
And you reviewed it twice, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the first one was like 10 minutes, and the second one was 47 minutes.
You're like, I'm going to review it again because I didn't trash on it enough the first time. That was literally what you said at the start of that video, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It wasn't exactly that, but it was basically that, yeah.
Yeah. I can't agree with you more in that video. I hate
that's the thing. I strongly disagree with a lot of the points I made in that video now. I spoke about that in another episode of the commentaries. The SparkNotes version is just, I was way too hard on that game, and that game does have a lot of bullshit, but that video is just kind of bad because I neglect a lot of really good things about that game, like the music, for example. The fact that there's almost no glitches in that game. There's like some stuff, and there's like...
Dude, I ran into so many glitches when I was playing through it.
Glitches in Wrath?
Falling through levels, fucking, like, my plane just not working when I was riding, like, using it. There's just...
Are you thinking of the Beetle, like, ship that you fly around, and it's like you have to, like, hold the button and home it in and shit?
No, the fucking airplane, man.
Yeah.
Like, during the boss fight?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Last time I played that game, I barely encountered any.
I ran into so many things. I ran into a couple things with the scooter on the water level when the water's chasing you.
I think a lot of that is just down to, like, things just kind of being designed awkwardly, though, because I remember that, too. Like, I couldn't figure out how the fuck to get past the waterfall until I realized you had to hold circle, and then she starts scooting it forward, although...
Yeah. I had some times, too, where I just fell through the level.
I don't remember that ever happening to me. Maybe that would be a
different... got lucky. I mean, I've never had glitches in Twinsanity. So,
what version of the game?
I guess. I think it was PS2.
That's weird. I never had any issues with my version of the game.
Yep.
And I have like,
I guess you just got lucky.
I had like the CD-ROM version. I never encountered any glitches with it. Maybe I was just lucky. Although I feel like I've played that game plenty, and I never really remember running into glitches. I must just be incredibly lucky. That or you're incredibly unlucky.
Yeah, maybe I just got really unlucky playing through it, but I don't know. I did not have fun with that game. I was more frustrated and angry through the whole thing than having a good time.
I see. Because I played it not too long ago, like a few months ago, and I actually like kind of enjoyed it, but I wasn't super crazy about it. It's just kind of like, I think my honest opinion on it now is just like, eh.
I'd have to play it again. I mean, I haven't played it since I reviewed it, which was a while ago, so...
Interesting. Yeah, that must have been a while ago. Shit. Well, anyway, Liam.
Let's hit that play button.
Yes.
You want to say anything, or you just want to make a funny noise and we go back to the video?
That was the funny noise, guys.
Okay,
there you go. Cool.
By a special guest, Badman Reviews.
Hi.
This is my first collab, aside from that one other Crash history video which I never followed up on since I'm lazy.
Oh, shit, I mentioned that, yeah. Pat and I did a video that was called, like, the history of Crash.
Oh, shit, Pat.
Yeah, that video is, like, gone, I'm pretty sure, as well. That's another video that's lost, although people don't even really remember that one, because it wasn't very good. It's not a dig at Pat. He did a great job. It was just, because I wrote most of the script for that one, so that's why it wasn't very good. But yeah.
What do you mean though? You didn't follow up on it? Was there supposed to be
there was a part one? There was a part 1, and there was going to be a part 2, and I just never made it.
Okay.
Yeah. That was pretty funny when that happened. Anyway, and people were like asking. Well, people really weren't. There was like 2 people out of like the many that commented on my videos, like, "Hey, when's part 2 coming out?" And I was just like, "Oh, look at that comment! Look at it fly away down the river of comments, telling me, other stuff. I don't know, stupid shit." Anyway, let's continue.
If you guys like these sort of collaborative videos, then let me know. I'll do more of these in the future, depending on the reaction I get.
This video is going to be a bit of an experiment to see if we can combine 2 very different styles of reviews and sexiness. My videos go for a more comedic style with random bits of parts that I choose to put in whenever I please.
Fucking edited it.
While my videos are a bit more organized, where I give a general overview of the game and offer my own opinion, while sliding in the occasional joke when I can.
I didn't hear.
Maybe it was because I reviewed Kingdom Hearts recently, and you just took a fucking clip from my recent video.
I'm assuming that's probably what that was.
Because that does look like my gameplay of Kingdom Hearts from my review, so that would be my guess.
That's weird too, because that was before the HD the collection came out for that.
Oh yeah.
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 Playing that game on PS2 is like fucking. It's like visiting an ancient fucking civilization.
I haven't played it on anything but PS2.
I like that game a lot, by the way.
New HD shit.
I want to say that. I like Kingdom Hearts 1 a lot.
Really?
And Kingdom Hearts 2 is not half bad, yeah. And I know, because I used to do nothing but shit on those games for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where were you during the last 14 videos, dude? I fucking talked about it already. God. It's like, fuck, this is
let's not drag it on.
This video is going to be like the length of all the other ones combined at this rate.
Oh,
if you guys like these sort of collaborative videos, then let me know. I'll do more of these in the future, depending on the reaction I get.
This video is going to be a bit of an experiment to see if we can combine 2 very different styles of reviews and sexiness. My videos go for a more comedic style with random bits of parts that I choose to put in whenever I please.
That's very weird, oddly written, but yeah, I think this kind of does touch up on what you said, where, I guess that is kind of stay true with you, that you just like to have fun with your videos.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of trying to be more, like, analytical, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to be more serious.
For sure.
And it's just like... The thing is, I guess that's kind of held up. I still try to be more analytical now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think I was very good at it.
Maybe even more so, because you don't want your skits in there anymore either,
I guess...
But I always found you as a very, like, straight to the books, like, you talk about the game, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, music, gameplay, like... There was never anything like totally like crazy about it. It was just like, if you want to know about a game and you want to know like the facts and like what's good about that game and what's bad about that, you fucking go to STIMPYLAND, because like he's gonna talk about the whole fucking series. He's gonna go through every game somehow without stopping and wanting to change to a different series.
Yeah.
I tried to review like 3 games from one series in a row once, and I was like, God, I'm so drained. You did like all of Crash Bandicoot.
Well, here's the thing, dude. I did them all very quickly.
Yeah.
like I rushed the shit out of those videos, so that's how I was able to do it.
True.
That. And also I was very, very hyper. I still am, to be honest. Good old ADHD. It's very cool. Fucking, you know. So yeah, I think I just had that energy. I was just able to go through it. But that is kind of interesting to think about. Like, how the fuck did I not get burned out on that? That's never. Me and Liam have not even talked about that. Like, how did I never get burned out on fucking doing all the games in a series at once?
I don't know.
It's fucking crazy. Like, I don't know how I did it.
That was the same thing I was thinking. Because I tried that once. I was just like, I want to like review like all the Legend of Spyro games, like one after another. Do them like once a week, and then I got to like the second game, and I got like halfway through, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking already done with this.
Yeah.
Let me move on, please.
I can't imagine doing like 12 Crash Bandicoot games, including the Game Boy and the DS.
I didn't do the DS ones. I just did like a little GBA trilogy, which wasn't even really a trilogy, but yeah, I did that.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah, I reviewed a lot.
And it was like you were up. I'm pretty sure you had the same schedule as me back then. You were doing like once a week, right?
It was about once a week. Some of them just came out really quickly.
Yeah, because I think I was doing like one big video a week and one small video a week. So I was doing like 2 videos a week, like one big and one small. And then you were doing pretty much the same thing, like 1 video a week.
Dude, it was so nice.
Sometimes even quicker. Like you would release on Tuesday and then release on like the Monday or the Sunday. You know,
so nice not having any obligations or responsibilities. You know, you just make dumbass YouTube videos all day, every day. Yeah, fucking cool.
Wish I still could.
Yeah, I'm good personally, but yeah, that's the thing I was saying. I think like that's kind of interesting. I guess that's why you didn't really experience the fatigue that I did, because you always had the approach of I'm just trying to have fun. So, like, it's kind of hard to look back at your old stuff and say, like, what a fucking idiot. Like, no, he's just trying to have fun. He's just trying to enjoy himself. While with me, it's like, I'm always trying to, have the hot take, And so I'm inevitably going to grow up and say, oh, wow, I was really dumb when I was younger, So perhaps the STIMPYLAND cycle will continue, and Badman will just be the concept.
I've looked at, like, fucking past, like, Facebook comments I've made. I'm just like, God, that guy is stupid.
That was me this entire series, so... Don't worry about it. Anyway.
Who's this asshole?
Speaking of assholes, let's get back to this video.
While my videos are a bit more organized, where I give a general overview of the game and offer my own opinion, while sliding in the occasional joke when I can. Badman's style is relaxed, as mine is more formulated. These are 2 very different styles, so we'll try hard to mesh them together. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, let us know what you think. So, Badman, what game are we reviewing?
This would be really weird if you didn't know who one of us was, because Badman's talking and there's Kingdom Hearts footage, and I'm talking and there's, like, Incredibles footage. Like,
yeah.
It's really strange.
It's really
Today we're reviewing Crash Twinsanity for the PS2 and the Sex Box. Crash Bandicoot was a game series that started back on the Sony PS1. These games were platformers that attempted to take the 2D style of the classic Mario games and put them in a 3D environment. The original series was really successful and made Crash Bandicoot the unofficial mascot for Sony that could compete with Mario and Sonic.
Yeah, here's a bunch of history that you definitely need, People definitely needed this history when watching a video on Twinsanity. That's my whole thing with why I'm not crazy about the sort of how I used to just explain everything about a game, because it was kind of like, it's like, if most people are watching the video, it's because they are already familiar with the game, Like, this video has a lot of, like, views because there's a lot of people that like Twinsanity and they wanted to see reviews of the game and shit, They like to hear people just say the same things that they say. So
like, what is that 3 minutes in or 2 minutes in?
3 minutes in.
3 minutes.
By the way,
still haven't gotten to any Twinsanity footage.
By the way, no, well, there was a little bit, but it was just...
there's a little bit,
was like 5 seconds, yeah. No, but Liam and
yes,
Badman, if you need me to pause at any time, just tell me. So, forgot to say that. Yeah. Well, Liam already knows that, but yeah. So if you need me to pause, like if there's something that you notice or something comes to your mind, just tell me and I'll pause. So anyway.
Usually, if I just fucking start talking, just cut me off.
Okay.
Just cut the video off at that point.
Unfortunately, a contract between the developer and publisher of these games
also
expired after...
I love the difference in quality. You have such an echo in your fucking voice.
I know.
And like my voice sounds like, not to fucking like brag or anything, but my voice sounds like real good. Like
sounds clean as fuck. Like the actual quality of the mic, yeah.
Yeah, and well, I did a lot of audio editing as well too with my voice, and I still do.
Yeah, I didn't.
And I had a little bit of soundproofing and a pop filter. It sounds like you just fucking sat there with a half decent microphone in
That's
your
what
room
I did.
and
That's
just
what I
let that
did.
shit echo.
That's what I did. That's what I still do. To be honest, I haven't, it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
See, Badman's in the fucking video like, yes, everybody, I love having sex with video games. I put my dick in the slot, and then Michael's in the back. Oh my god, I wish I could do that. That would be really cool. That would be really cool if I could do something like that.
Yeah.
Like really far away. And...
Yeah, Liam's got a really good mic too. Everyone here's got good mics except for me. Mine is shit.
Dude, to be true, I have a fucking Blue Yeti, which I would not call the greatest microphone.
I have a Blue Snowball, so there you go. No
Yeah,
one's even
well,
shitty.
Yep.
Yeah.
What happens if you throw the snowball at the Yeti?
It dies.
He
That's
gets
what
real mad.
He gets real angry, yeah.
Don't do that.
Unfortunately, a contract between the developer and publisher of these games expired after the 4th game, meaning that the next games wouldn't be in the hands of the original.
Not exactly true. It was between, like... It's not super important, but it was between, like, the 3rd game and the 4th game was made kind of, like, as... They got the chance to, like, make another game. Yeah, but I don't know the whole history, but it's not true that this was part of a contract of 4 games, because it was a 3-game deal. 3-game deal, and then fucking they made the 4th one after. Like, they made Team Racing as, like, a bonus. So, yeah. There you go. History lesson, folks. Correcting that misinformation.
The next couple of games were mediocre with only one real exception.
What the fuck? Hold on.
In the hands of the original creators. The next couple of games were mediocre with only one real exception.
No, that game is mediocre as fuck.
Okay, yeah, Crash Bash was kind of mediocre, but I still love it.
I
like how people are asking for a remaster of Crash Bash.
No,
it's like, why?
No. Yeah, Jesus
don't
Christ, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's just bad Mario Party.
Just give me a new Crash Bandicoot, please.
Just don't do that.
It's just bad Mario Party.
It's just, yeah, don't do that, please.
At least it's got a story, because that's what you want in your Mario Party.
Yeah.
I always thought the cover of Crash Bash looked really fucking weird. Because you've got, like, Tiny shooting this big fuck-off spiky ball. You've got Coco on Polar trying to, like, fuck Cortex in the ass or something.
Yeah.
And I know Crash is supposed to be on the pogo thing, but to me it always looked like he was on a scooter without, like, the fucking wheels or a bottom. Because
like
the way
the front end of a
ground
scooter,
looks like it's grinding. It looks like it's grinding along the ground.
Yeah, it does.
So it's, very strange cover.
Yeah. And he's looking at that cover like, ha ha ha. He's making a weird face,
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What? What happened?
I think I lost you guys. Shit.
Yikes.
Cut here.
Cut my penis off.
Cut my penis off. Cut my cock
Oh,
off.
there we go. I'm back.
Hey, sure,
Nice.
Okay.
I accidentally unplugged my speakers.
Sick.
Very cool.
Okay.
All right, let's continue.
Well, I'll just make a cut there. Don't worry. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, you should just leave it all in.
Let it all out. Yeah, maybe. Let's just keep going.
The later games of the Crash Bandicoot series were dismissed as bad attempts to relive the success of the classic games.
When you mention
That's what they are, but let's continue.
Crash Bandicoot, most people just think of the originals. None of the games after Naughty Dog's departure are really that memorable, except for one. Crash Twinsanity.
Fuck. Yeah, I disagree with that strongly. I would say...
I don't.
Well, there you go. I do.
Well, no, I'll offer some middle ground. I do think it's memorable. I don't think it's a good game either. Like, I think it's fun to fuck around in and go through. I kind of share that with Michael, but I do think it's pretty memorable out of them. Like, if you're gonna ask me which game I remember more out of, like, Wrath of Cortex and Twinsanity and, like, fucking Tag Team Racing, I'd say Twinsanity is the more memorable game because of the writing and the weird characters and shit like that.
It's hilarious.
I think here's the thing. I think most people just haven't fucking played Mutants because literally, Mutants, Coco calls Crash a lousy goyim when you punch her in the face. So like, that's worth the price of admission right there. You know, she calls Crash a non-Jew. That's fucking great. Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to play Mutants and then I'll get back to you on that one. But I don't know. I'm still on the fence, you know?
Yeah. I think
either way,
it's
not gonna change
game,
the fact that I love
yeah.
Twinsanity.
The thing is, I think like this game, there's a discussion to be had about this game as like, you know, I don't think it's technically good, meaning like, you know, I think the game is just blatantly unfinished and there's a lot of like weird gameplay styles that I'm not a fan of, but You know, the fact that it's kind of the game, you know, it's designed like, oh, this is a, you know, love letter to the oh, I just fucked all that up. This is a love letter to the classic Crash games, you know, like that, you know, like that's sort of the way it was delivered, like that.
Yeah.
But then instead people were like, no, because first off, you know, it doesn't really feel super connected to the old games. You know, and also, it's glitchy and broken as fuck, but it's taken on a completely new sort of personality. You know, like, Crash Twinsanity is now known as, like, you know, this speedrunner's wet dream, because there's so many different ways to, like, fuck with the game, and, you know, they've brought down, people can beat the game in 15 minutes now. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, there's so many glitches and stuff in this game. But it's really cool.
It's also got the most memorable character in the entire Crash series, Farmer Ernest.
I was gonna say Rusty Walrus, but yeah.
No, it's Farmer Ernest.
No, Rusty Walrus. Aw, yummy, fresh meat for my butt. He says that.
Yeah.
A homosexual man. Fresh meat for my butt, he says. Let's keep going.
Twinsanity is considered by many to be the last decent Crash game. Stimpy, on the other hand, though, would disagree, but he understands where all this controversy comes from.
This was the last Crash game before a big redesign came along, so it's understandable how people would cling to this game.
Yeah.
That's not even true.
Oh, well, yeah, well, I'd say,
Because
like...
it was Tag Team Racing.
I think the idea is it was the last,
yeah,
like...
well, that doesn't, yeah.
That's like, yeah.
Like, big main game.
I guess, sure, yeah.
That's kind of, that's like what I think I was getting at, and, you know...
Yeah.
If I would talk about, like, you know, what would I consider the main series Crash games, I wouldn't include Tag Team Racing. I would include Crash 1, 2, 3, Wrath, Twinsanity, and then the Titans games. I would put those as, like, the main series. And then everything else is, like, either spin-offs or gay shit, so, yeah. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah, the kart races would definitely be spin-offs.
Yeah.
And though would disagree, but he understands where all this controversy comes from.
This was the last Crash game before a big redesign came
What I needed to say was last major Crash game. If I just said that, then there you go.
Yeah.
But
you would have been fine.
Yeah.
So it's understandable how people would cling to this game. The calm before the storm, if you will. This is a game that has gotten a really mixed reaction. I mean, with all the Crash games before this, the reaction is pretty black and white. Crash 2, Wrath of Cortex, but believe it or not, me and Badman share a pretty similar opinion on this game. It's okay. Just okay.
See, that's funny because we share the opinion that the game is okay, and now we have diverged, you know, into the two different paths where you love this game and I hate this game. So that's just funny.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
I feel like
I hate
like
it, but I don't hate it.
I was still like more on the fence of loving it than being on the the okay side.
Yeah, because my whole thing, I think I was going to say this before, but there's a discussion to be had about, you know, the game, it's sort of appreciated as a very different kind of game. It's like, you know, this speedrunner's wet dream, you know? And a game, for example, Super Smash Bros. Melee was designed as, like, this party game, but that's definitely not the way people play it at all, you know? So, if the developers were intending to make a party game, there are tons of people that are super competitive when playing it, you know? Like, is the game a success then? Because a lot of people would say that's, like, their favorite Smash game. So, you know, there's a discussion to be had, like, you know, are they really glitches or are they features? You know? I know Miyamoto himself, when he was talking about the Minus Worlds, that glitch in the original Mario Brothers, he said, you know, it's not like it crashes the game, maybe it's a feature. I'm pretty sure he said something like that. So, you know, there is a discussion to be had about, you know, just because the game is glitchy, and because it's kind of changed the way people play the game, it's changed the whole perception about the game, does that mean that it's bad? And there's a lot of people that would say no, but I personally would still say, yeah, I think it's not very good. But I do recognize that there is plenty of reason to play Crash Twinsanity, and I'll have fun speedrunning the game and breaking it occasionally, although I haven't played it in, like, a long time. But, yeah.
I'll have fun just playing it normally.
Sick! What about you, Liam?
I have fun body slamming Coco's corpse.
Yeah.
Thanks. There you go.
It's not really good.
It's not really bad, it's just okay. So anyway, let's start the fucking thing up.
There you go. There's your life.
I remember
right
that.
Yeah.
That was just like some like blank disc.
I remember you saying it took you a long time to get that shot like half decent.
Oh yeah, because I probably like kept missing.
Yeah.
Because I got like stupid motor skills, lol.
Okay. So anyway, let's start the fucking thing up.
The game like that. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Game opens and it's made by, oh dear god, the developers of Wrath of Cortex.
Actually, Stimpy, this game is developed by Traveler's Tales Oxford.
Hey, that's weird. That's a joke I already made.
Yep.
I made it in the old Twinsanity video. I just reused the same joke. Isn't that cool?
Hey man, when jokes are that funny, you just have to do them
Yeah,
over and over again.
When a joke is really funny, you just tell it 1,000 times. It gets funnier every time.
Yeah, just like what was the favorite game of all time?
Yeah, that was really funny. How I just said it a lot. Yeah. That made it very funny. You remember that? Badman, you remember that?
No.
It's from the Spyro.
In my Spyro review, I used that like one joke like 1,000 fucking times, and it wasn't funny. Like the third time.
I do not.
It got like really annoying by like the third time, and it did like 7 times. It was really dumb.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was bad. And I used this exact joke in the old Twinsanity video.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid.
Not Traveler's Tales Knotsford, the division that developed the Wrath of Cortex. Get it? Because they're not good enough to get into Oxford? Knotsford? It's funny, right? Fuck you.
So the game finally... Fuck you.
Nice.
That was good.
This is a perfect mix of your humor and my humor.
Yeah, they're not...
That's the
thing.
Knotsford was your joke straight up, and then just like the fuck you at the end was just straight up me.
That was you, like, silently defying, you know, my shitty joke. Because that, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's so stupid. It's so juvenile that it's hilarious to me.
Because they're not good enough to get into Oxford.
That's like a joke Liam would make.
Knotsford?
But there would be like a lot of very gross humor and sex references if Liam were to make that joke. But yeah. You know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Liam can, you know, attest to that.
It's funny, right?
Or it's just something completely stupid.
What I do? Like, did I skip? Okay. Yeah. But
Knotsford? It's funny, right? Fuck you.
So the game finally starts up, and we're greeted to some cute little title screen music.
Ew. Oh, we should talk about the soundtrack of this game, because I was not a fan of this soundtrack at the time, and honestly now, I'm still not a fan. I still fucking hate it, but again, you're allowed to disagree. Isn't that sick? Can you hear us?
No.
I don't think he can hear us.
I can hear you.
What the fuck? Say something.
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm still on the side of loving the soundtrack. At first, I thought you were just gonna be like, yeah, you know, I wasn't that into the soundtrack when we made the video, because I remember you weren't, and I kept being like, this was like the one thing we argued on the most.
Yeah.
And I thought you were just about to be like, you know, it's kind of grown on me, but I guess not.
Yeah.
I guess you still fucking hate it.
Well, my thing about the soundtrack now is at the time, I kind of just hated it just because I was like, it's annoying, it's voices. But now I don't like it, but it's for different reasons. I feel like the music is not very well produced at all. Like, there's a lot of effects and stuff on their voices. Pat kind of opened my eyes to that when we did the first STIMPYLAND commentary on the old Twinsanity review.
Yeah.
And this was on the failed recording, you know, because the non-recording, because we talked about the game a bunch on a recording and then I forgot to hit record, you know?
Yeah.
So I was talking to Pat about that, you know, and he was saying, like, because I said in the video, I think, I'm like, oh, you know, it's really impressive, you know, the fact that they were able to, you know, do this. And he's like, here's the thing, though, dude, they put, like, a lot of effects on their voices. Like, if they were to perform that song live, it wouldn't sound that way. You know, it's like, it's really not that impressive. And yes, I guess. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not about it being impressive. It's just about it sounding good. Like, I mean, a techno song is nothing but effects, but that doesn't mean that it's not good.
No, I know that. No, I definitely know that. I listen to like 1,000 songs every day. No, I listen to plenty of music. But,
yeah.
My whole thing is I'm just not a fan of the way it sounds, because I feel like a lot of times the songs either, you know, like, they sound, like, I think Rooftop Rampage is an example of a song. I think that's Rooftop Rumble, Rooftop Rampage, I don't remember how
I think you might talk about that. Yeah. I know you talk about one of the songs specifically that you're just like, what is wrong with this song?
It was Rooftop Rampage was a song that I don't know if I say it in this one, but my opinion on that song, it's like the best, but also the worst. Because on one hand, it's like I like sort of, you know, the melody. I like the actual composition itself, you know? Yeah. But the fact that it's done with voices just leads to it sounding very kind of, very flaccid. You know, it just doesn't hit very hard because, you know, there's only so many ways, you know, you can make your voice sound like a guitar, you know? And the more effects you put over your voice to make it sound like a guitar, you know, the more you sort of lose the the fact that their voices,
What's
like
the point of it?
Yeah.
it sounds so muddy, like the fact that
I think it fits really well with the game because it's like it's a new series and it's just supposed to be like this fun platformer that's like cartoony and slapsticky that like the music kind of like complements the style of the game. At least that's how I look at it.
My whole thing is I just don't think it's very it's very pleasant to listen to while playing, and also just on its own, I guess.
That's fair. That's the same thing I'll say to anyone who says that they didn't like it. I get it. I get why you wouldn't like it. I mean, if you want to listen to like a really good like vocal band, I would say like go listen to like Van Canto. That's like someone who can do it really well.
I don't know who that is, but sure.
Give it a listen. They're great.
Do you know what that is, Liam?
Nope.
That's a bummer.
Well, yeah. My whole thing is like, for example, that song, Rooftop Rampage, the voices that's it's supposed to sound like kind of metal, but their voices are so heavily produced that it ends up just sounding like really muddy, and also it barely sounds like voices. Like you could barely hear that those are voices, you know what I mean? So I was just kind of listening to that, thinking like I was listening to that and being like, first off, it barely sounds like voices. Like I know that's what it is, but it barely sounds like that. And also, if they were going to, if it doesn't sound like voices at all, then why not just use like instruments, like why use this shitty instrument of the voice?
That's the fun of it.
I guess I don't know. It's just I feel like if you just had like actual instrumentation, it would have sounded better. I don't think it would have lost its charm if you did that. Because I feel like Rooftop Rampage is probably the worst offender that comes to my mind, where it's just like this song really just could have hit it so much harder if they just did it with actual
I don't know if
instruments.
that's. I know that I'm pretty sure there's one song you hit on specifically where you're just like, yeah, just listen to this one. I don't remember which one it was, but I know you talk about it in this video, so
yeah. Because my opinion about it at the time was just it's annoying, and it's like it still can be annoying sometimes, but I think most of it's like it's fine. Like it's not that harmless. It's just it's just really kind of my opinion on it now is less that it's so annoying. It's more just now it's like it's really underwhelming. That's the way I kind of look at it.
What about Happily Ever Faster?
Fuck that.
Typhoon Racing.
And fuck that. That was stupid.
I know the one that the one you hated the most was Spyro 3, the Sergeant Bird's music.
I remember that too. I don't know why I got so mad at that.
Dude, that song is really bad.
I think it's okay. It's not. You know what? I spoke about that already. I spoke about that already, and you missed out, buddy. Okay, where were you when I spoke about that for like a long time?
Blissfully unaware of these commentary videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because we were like talking at the time I was doing it, and I just forgot to bring it up. It's just like it's just a weird thing that I'd forget to do. But yeah. Anyway. Okay. Let's keep going. How quaint.
Anyway, the game opens up like any other classic platformer, with the main antagonist stealing one of the protagonist's clothes and using them as a wait, what? Yeah, let me state early on that this game is fucking out there for a platformer. What a bizarre concept. I really like weird games though, so this is good for me.
Now after our opening cutscene, we find ourselves in Insanity Isle, and something you're bound to notice right off the bat is that this game is much more open than previous installments. As all the games in the series had you following a strict path, this game instead gives you more room to breathe, and the objective is
I
more
wish
vague.
more of the game was like Insanity Island. Because Insanity Island was just like, the beginning of the game was just really open, and then there's just like, the rest of the game, a lot of the segments is a lot more closed off and linear.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem.
I was saying before, like if it was more like Hat in Time, like just super fucking open, like I would love it.
Because that is the thing. It's talked about as if it's this like really, like the most open world of like the Crash games and stuff like that.
Well, don't get me wrong, it is, but like it's to an extent. Like there's
I would argue Mutants is more open, but
that are really there's like specific levels that are just really open. And then, like, but like another huge chunk of levels are just like your straight up old style.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
That's something.
Crash Bandicoot.
Liam, you say what you're gonna say, and then I'll cut in.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just gonna say because even though it kind of gives off the vague impression of it being open, when most of the time a lot of the areas is just like a tiny little side path that you can go on to get a gem. And so.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's another thing. I'm not crazy about this for that reason. I feel like this game, it's really, really awkward, and, you know, it's funny because people will often say this about Titans or Mutants. You know, people that will defend the game, people that do like the game will say, it's good, it just doesn't feel like Crash. You know?
Yeah.
This game does not feel like Crash. Like,
there's a lot of games like that too, where it's just like, I know like a lot of people just like rag on nuts and bolts. They're like, it's not Banjo-Kazooie. It's like, well, is it a bad game? They're like, oh, no, it's not that bad of a game. It's fun. It's like, so what's wrong with it? It's like, well, it's not Banjo-Kazooie. It's like, well,
yeah. I think that's kind of important. It should feel like, you know, at least a little bit in line with the series.
Yeah, like if they're gonna slap the name on it, you know.
If it's just something where it's
like
totally
fucking...
in name only, that's weird.
Yeah.
Skylanders Spyro's Adventure is like a fucking good example of that, because it's got
yeah.
Spyro's name in the title, but that's not a fucking Spyro game.
Yeah, it's
That
got
is
nothing
far
to
from
do
a
with
Spyro
Spyro.
game.
Yeah. He's not even the main character.
Nope.
But yeah, what was I gonna say?
But yeah, this beginning, like, first, like, beach level is just, like, it's really open, there's a lot to do, and it's a really good, like, start to the game, I have to say.
I would say that's probably, like, this is probably the strongest of, like, the open world segments, and they put it right in the beginning, unfortunately, which just, I feel like doesn't speak super well for the rest of the game.
I say the area around Cortex's lab, the snow level.
Oh, I disagree. I know what you're gonna say, and I strongly disagree. I do not like that section.
Like, not the section, like the linear path section to get to his
I know
area,
what you're
but
talking
the
about.
small area around his lab I find is a nice area. It's got, like, the skybox is really nice, and, like, there's a decent amount of, like, little puzzles in the area to do. I liked it.
Oh yeah, I would say that actually. This game visually has not. It's like, it's decent. Like, it looks pretty good. You know, like, definitely better than something like Wrath of Cortex. Like,
did you record this straight off of a PS2, or did you emulate it and like put any like shader effects on it?
No, it's just PS2.
Straight up how it looks.
It's just PS2.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Like, you know, I do like some of the effects.
Well,
you know, like
for sure.
for example, the water. It doesn't look like realistic water. You know, it looks like this sort of illustration of water, and that shit's really nice.
Yeah.
You know, like, I like that shit. I just think, you know, it's kind of it's very inconsistent, unfortunately. And also, you know, I was gonna say, my big problem with this game is, you know, I don't like this sort of formula of, you start out in this wide open area where there's a bunch of, like, isolated physics puzzles, and then you go into like these levels and there's all these weird gimmicks. That's why I was kind of saying, like, you know, people complain like, oh, you know, Titans is Crash in name only, and it's like, you know, I don't think that's true. And for what it's worth, I don't think that's true with Twinsanity either. But Twinsanity does not feel like a Crash game at all. Like, or at least not, you know, maybe with all the time that's passed, we can now sort of identify. And like, yeah, you know, this just kind of feels like Crash. We've been with it for so long, but in my opinion, it really doesn't feel like the old games at all. It's a huge departure from that sort of thing.
I think it was just like they added so much more to it with like being able to play as like two other characters and like having a segment where you play as both characters together. Like, there's a lot of segments where it's not just Crash, so it's like it's hard to feel like a Crash game when you're also playing as other new characters.
I feel like part of this game, the reason why it is, I think the worst thing about it was the fact that it was unfortunately very rushed and then kind of just released in a state. It was clearly not ready to be released, and it was just released anyway. You know.
Speaking of that, if you look at down in the bottom right, up next, there's Crash Bandicoot content by Batman. You should check that out.
And there it is. Look at that. Totally sick, dude. Yeah. But, you know, I think part of that is the fact that the publishers were, you know, like, obviously rushing the game, which was unfortunate, but I think the developers...
This is definitely one of the most rushed games I've ever learned about. Yeah. Like, it has the most amount of stuff that, like, just whole segments just gone.
And then the effects that it had on the game, the fact that, you know, it's so glitchy. And granted, it's
that's
surprisingly
why, like, a lot
decent,
of people
but
have
it's,
asked.
you know, like, it's surprisingly decent. It's not, like, terribly gonna get in the way, but, you know.
Yeah. And I've seen that even more than Crash Bash, people asking, like, you guys should remaster Twinsanity, but, like, do it good this time. Put all the stuff that was supposed to be in it back in it and, like, fix it and make it the game that it should have been when it first released.
We actually spoke about that, me and Liam, we spoke about that. That, you know, that might be interesting. I wouldn't be totally crazy about it, but he was... I don't know how optimistic you were about that, Liam, but I would not be crazy about a Twinsanity remake.
I was just saying... Yeah, my thoughts were... I would rather they make a completely new game, but if they are going to remaster something else, I think the best choice would be do Twinsanity, make sure it isn't, like, buggy and shit this time. Like, really focus on polishing it, and put all the cut content in, and maybe even explore a lot of the shit that was in the concept art of what the game was supposed to be. Because if you look through the concept art, there's like a whole lot of really, really interesting shit.
Yeah,
that was just like
they straight
lost
up bring it
ideas
up in the game too. And I know we talk about it in the video where Cortex is just like, there's supposed to be like 2 other dimensions, but we're just gonna go to this one.
Yeah, we ran out of time.
Yeah,
you think he says?
Yeah.
But there's like concept art of like floating like cities in the sky and shit, and like these little like animal buddies that Crash had at one point, and like it was gonna be more of like an RPG. Like I think even if you tried to explore that shit, it'd be really fucking cool.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
when they
something
started
I was gonna say. I wanted to say that
it was something like that.
I wanted to
but,
say,
I guess it was too optimistic for them to go after.
That's something I was gonna say. I feel like a problem with this game. One was the fact that it was rushed, but also the fact that I think the developers were way too ambitious. Like they had so many ideas, and they were, from what I know, Oxford Studio was made like specifically for this game. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that though, but I feel like that was the case. Or like, at the very least, I know they were a new studio, because it's not the division that made, Toy Story 2 and then Wrath of Cortex and like all those other games, It wasn't that studio. It was, it was new people, and the fact that they had like 1,000 ideas for this game and all this floating city shit, and all these animal buddies and RPG stuff, and like, they were a new developer, like, I'm pretty sure it was the first game, but if not, they were a relatively new developer.
A division of Traveler's Tale created solely for the purpose of reviving the Crash Bandicoot series. Their first and only game they developed was Twinsanity.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it's like, dude, that's like way too ambitious for, a new developer.
It says they were planned to also work on Crash Nitro Kart and Crash Tag Team Racing, but both titles were passed to Vicarious Visions and Radical Entertainment. So
where'd you get that from?
Yeah, they didn't. That was from the video game source fandom.
Wholesome.
VG Wiki. So
Wholesome.
I don't know if it's completely,
It's probably true. Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Who knows?
It's on the internet.
Who knows?
Right.
Who cares? There you go. Anyway, let's just keep going. Because we talked about this plenty.
This is cool. Crash Twinsanity, instead of going for a formulaic style like the Wrath of Cortex did, goes for a more Spyro the Dragon approach. There's still an obvious goal and an obvious path to follow, but there's plenty of little nooks and crannies to look in and all that fun stuff.
This wide open area gives us plenty of space to work out the game's controls, which I'd like to point out are actually pretty tight. Crash controls satisfy.
I don't agree with that.
Oh, well, can't always see eye to eye, man.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I think the controls are fine. I just hate the fucking slide jump. The slide jump is the most nuded shit in this game.
Yeah, I think it controls well. I think like the jumping feels good. It doesn't feel floaty. There's not a huge amount of like sliding. Like being able to make platforming is pretty easy.
You know what it is? You know what I will say? I will say this actually. I will say this. Like it's mostly pretty good to get through, but precision platforming, like when they put like say a crate over a pit, that is fucking nightmarish. Like
I think that's not. No, I don't think that's a fault of the controls.
Yeah,
I think that's a fault of the design of.
I find like that. I think that was more of a camera angle issue. I found a lot of the times if the camera angle was right, I can make those jumps. But certain segments in the game where the camera angle just wasn't right, and they expected you to make jumps without a good camera angle, then it became impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's yeah.
Because there's other things I'd say, like the engine boss fight, which is like, I don't blame the controls. I'd probably blame the camera angle on that, because there's a lot of times when you can just like walk into the fucking spikes and die because of how the camera angle is, like the perspective that you have of like running around his little like floating thing. Very cool. Yeah, the perspective is like really hard to fucking tell how close or how far away you are from something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a perspective issue. And you know, I feel like the original Crash games handle that like pretty well, and then Mutants, as well. But Twinsanity seemed to have some issues with that, which is interesting. At least that's just based on my memory of this game, because I have not played this game in a while. Like I tried playing it on an emulator recently, and I only was able to play like the first level. It was like could not get it running correctly. There's probably
the game does not emulate well. Even on a 360, it does. Cutscenes run super slow on 360. It's a hard game to emulate for some reason.
It's probably because it was like cobbled together with fucking like made on fucking 15 cents with like 2 people that had never made a game before.
To be fair, I've never had huge success emulating like pretty much any PS2 game, so...
Yeah, PS2 emulation's pretty hard.
Like my dick. Let's continue.
Satisfyingly enough, and everything works out as expected, so I have no real complaints yet.
So we follow Cortex through the jungle.
Oh my god, yeah, that mic, like, that difference is fucking night and day.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It's funny, because I just realized, like, we're talking about this game, we're basically just reviewing it again. Like, because we're just talking about the game more than we are actually this video, but, yeah.
As expected, so I have no real complaints yet.
So we follow Cortex through the jungle in a lengthy tutorial. This is stupid. The tutorial is so long and it's boring and it can't be skipped. I mean, the tutorials are helpful for newcomers, but we are well into the series at this point. I should be allowed to skip these or turn them off. Plus, before, the game gave us wide open space to play with the controls. What was the ever-loving fucking point of that if they're just gonna make a tutorial anyway?
I'm sure newcomers wouldn't be lost if some of these tutorials just didn't exist. Pretty much everything in this tutorial is obvious or can be found out with a few minutes of...
Yeah, you got Mind Over Mutant music. I guess got good music. Also,
playing around with the
I agree, this shit is dumb. Like, I don't know why they put a tutorial when they give you a bunch of room to...
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, here's a wide open place, play around with controls, do some cool, fun side objectives. Okay, now here's all of the tutorial.
Yeah.
I already know how to walk and jump. Like, just fucking put me in an area to play with that.
Yeah.
The best part is Ikkoku telling you what he does every time you interact with him if you die.
It is I, Aku.
It is I, Aku.
My duty is to protect you. You may summon me by breaking open these crates. Call me thrice, and I shall grant you special powers. That's how he says it.
Yeah. And then when I was a kid, I called him thrice, and I was like, why isn't it working, XD?
It's like, hey, thrice, come over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call me thrice. Yeah, you can call me thrice.
What works, but at the same time, the tutorial is pretty fucking funny. There's plenty of great slapstick humor in this game, and it is very reminiscent of Animaniacs or Looney Tunes.
I'm okay. The spikes broke my fall.
In fact, I believe this game's story was written by one of the writers of Invader Zim or something like that. I don't know. I didn't check, but I think I read it on a Crash Bandicoot memes post or something. This game had me...
Crash Bandicoot memes post, a Facebook page? Jesus Christ.
So fucking just, like, perfect.
That's good, yeah. I like that shit where I just leave that in, like, I don't know, maybe, probably not. It's on the internet, it's true, of course it is. Yeah.
Also, this scene is probably still one of my favorite scenes from the game.
I would like it if you didn't have to watch it every time. Like, if they let you skip the cutscenes, I would like this a lot more.
That's fair.
My thing with the cutscenes in this game, it's like, I do like some of, like, the, you know, some of the jokes are funny. And there was, like, some funny stuff, like, you know, how, what is it? Cortex was going to dress up as Coco, and Engine was, like, you know, going to flirt with him and stuff, and then he gets, like, confused when he finds out that Cortex, you know, is Cortex. You know, there's, like, a deleted scene from that game. It's pretty funny. You know, they even, I'm pretty sure Quentin Flynn, I think it was him that was doing the voice, you know? Does a good job. I think it was him anyway.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they left him in the game, but literally the only thing he says in the game now is, "Oh!" He just does that now, you know?
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't do anything else. It's weird. So, like, that stuff's awkward, where, you know, you have these characters that just sort of appear and then disappear from the story, like, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know?
You can tell that they were supposed to be in the game a lot more, but, like, they're obviously, like, their segments of the game got, like, ripped apart, taken away.
That's the thing with this game, dude. I feel like playing it, you feel like, oh yeah, something is totally off here. Like, something about this is not right. Yeah. I didn't really notice much when I was a kid.
The biggest point of that is just like, slide down a mountain. Hey, here's Dingo Dial. Have a fight. Oh, hey, look, now we're an Engine ship.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're fighting Engine. Now we're out of his ship. It's just like, whoa, that happened way too fast.
Yeah, it's like, it's really weird.
And now fight Entropy and Embryo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, and then it leads into another fight with Entropy.
And another thing with this game, dude, it's like the fucking cutscenes, like look, the writing behind them and stuff is funny, but, like, they're bad. Because there's usually no sound effects in those cutscenes. And it's so awkward. Yeah. Like, watching those cutscenes now, it's the most awkward cutscene probably in any video game of all time is, you know, tell us where the treasure is and we'll let you go. Not talking, eh? You know, and then he says, like, Embryo get changed or whatever, like, which is just a weird thing for him to say. And then Embryo drinks a potion, and with no sound effects, he just spasses out in place, you know? There's no sound effects, and it's just playing the music, like, held over from the level. It's so fucking awkward. It's like, what the fuck is this?
I feel like that entropy and the dingo dial segments were just like in completely different parts of the game, but they were like already done. Like that boss fight was already made, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's like
don't let it go
put
to
it
waste,
in there and put them on a small ice platform, and like let's just make it."
Yeah, they're just in the middle of the fucking ocean on an ice platform, and Crash just happens to land there. Like what?
Yeah, I have a feeling like that was supposed to take place in a completely different area that just didn't make it into the game, but they didn't want to like cut the boss fight. So they're just like, okay, we'll just reskin it as like an iceberg and put it after the embryo part.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in that game that's just so weird. You know? Like, that's the thing, is like, I feel like with Twinsanity, you know, people are like, oh, you know, it feels like this love letter to the Crash games, but it's like, most of the characters just show up, like, in these retarded cutscenes, and then they disappear forever, you know? Meanwhile, fucking, compare that to Mind Over Mutant, which, you know, people say, you know, like, oh, it's just this weird in-name only Crash game, but they brought back Nitrous Brio in that game, who is like the best fucking character. He's so great in that game, and it's so true to his character. Do you know anything?
Is that the tall head guy from the first game?
Embryo. That's him.
Yeah, okay.
You know, they brought him back in Mind Over Mutant, and he's a fucking great character. Because his whole shtick in Mind Over Mutant is that he's just obsessed with taking credit for everything, and the fact that he's actually a genius, like, he invents everything. Because the lore of the original Crash games was that Embryo was the guy that actually, like, built all the shit, you know, including the Evolvo Ray, which takes the little animals and turns them into, like, you know, big, they turn them into, like, the mutants, like Crash, but also, you know, like, Pinstripe and Koala Kong and all that shit, you know? They took just normal woodland animals and shit and turned them into these, like, creatures, you know, these anthropomorphic boys. Anyway, that was the Evolvo Ray, and Embryo, the tall head guy, was actually the one that invented the shit, but Cortex took credit for it. And Embryo had, like, a major case of submissiveness, which is why he always stuttered, you know? And eventually, you know, he betrays Cortex, you know? And that's the sort of the plot of the second game, you know? And that shit's cool. Fucking... And then in Mind Over Mutant, the two reunite, they team up again, but the fact that they had, like, this previous rivalry is a huge part of the story. And Embryo's character, so much comedy has just gotten from him just taking credit for everything, you know? Like... It's just fucking great. Like, that game's great. And it's so cool, you know, by comparison, Twinsanity brings back Brio, and it's one of the worst cutscenes of all time. You know, Mutants brings back Brio, and it's, like, the fucking best. It's so great. He's just great. He actually, the funniest thing about Brio in that game is he just fucks off halfway through the game, you know? He says, this isn't the end, I invented endings, and then he runs away. It's just... Yeah, anyway. Play Mutants, that's the point of this video. Anyway.
Alright.
Let's keep going.
All throughout, it's not afraid to break the fourth wall. It referenced the poor sales of Wrath of Cortex and even the rough development cycle this game had.
Come now, as we explore a new dimension! It should have been 2 new dimensions, but we ran out of time.
Crash follows Coco to this little arena where she reveals her true identity. It's actually Cortex. No surprise there. Now comes our first boss.
The bosses in this game are a bit weak. Some of them actually prove to be pretty fun, but a lot of them just feel repetitive and boring. Bosses are supposed to get gradually harder as they go along, like how the final boss had more and more stages after each attack in Battle for Bikini Bottom. But practically every other boss in this game is just do the same thing 3 times in a row. In fact, 1 or 2 of these bosses actually got progressively easier as the fight went along. That seems kinda backwards.
For what these bosses lack in challenge and design, they make up for in presentation. Each of the bosses are, despite being repetitive, very memorable. There are plenty of...
dude, Rusty Walrus, you know? Put your fresh meat in my butt. That's him. Yeah, he's definitely a very memorable character. Aw, yummy, fresh meat for my butt. It's interesting because people refer to penises as meat sometimes. That's a cool thing that people do. Let's continue.
Fun dialogue and bosses look intimidating. They look fucking great, and the music that accompanies these bosses is often very fitting. In fact, not only do the bosses look great, but the whole game looks great. I really want you guys to just look at...
It's got, like, good art direction. Very good art direction. But, like, visually it's not... It hasn't aged, like, phenomenally, but it's got a good art direction. It's, you know, it's got a very clearly defined art direction. That's what I'll say. You know? Compared to something like Wrath of Cortex, which is just kind of, you know, just clearly kind of just comes off as, you know, a very awkward...
even just, like, looking at, like, the boss icon and, like, the life icon, and you, like, it's the same art kind of that you see in, like, a lot of the... like when you get the gems and you get like the art concept stuff, it all has that same art style to it, and it all looks like really nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, the concept art in this game is fantastic.
Yeah, Keith Webb,
like,
right?
Really...
Wasn't that the guy that did it?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it was Keith Webb. I could be wrong about that, but yeah. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to come out of this game, in my opinion, is the concept art. It looks really good.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, it was
just
Keith
like
Webb.
the art design of like all the icons and stuff is great.
Yeah, the game has like a very sort of clearly defined art direction, unlike Wrath of Cortex, which I think the thing with Wrath of Cortex is that game kind of feels like you took Crash Bandicoot and like ran it through Google Translate and then put it back into English. You know what I mean? Like the original, it's detectable. Like you can see like what the like you can tell what it's supposed to be, but something about it is clearly off. You know? While with Twinsanity, it's a completely different language, but it's, you know, fluent in that language. I'm just talking about the art direction.
Yeah.
But, you know, there you go. That's sort of how I think about that game. I think it's held up it holds up like relatively well, and I like the art direction a lot, and the concept art is fantastic. That's probably the thing about this game that has aged the best, is the visuals. Yeah. Were you going to say anything, Liam?
I was gonna say sick analogy.
Cool.
Sick anal.
Some of the details
I love
of these levels.
Let's go.
Look at the fucking beams of sunlight. Look at those glowing mushrooms. Fuck it, they're mushrooms.
They are mushrooms.
Seriously, some of the atmosphere in these levels is just amazing for a game like this. The Academy of Evil in particular had a fucking amazing atmosphere.
It's definitely not the best looking game of its time, but for 2004 these are pretty good graphics. The game, for the most part, runs at a really steady frame rate. On occasion in the PS2 version the frame rate will drop during the more intensive moments of the game, but it wasn't a major problem. All in all, the game runs really well and it's got some beautiful environments to run around in.
You can walk on the roof of this entire level.
Yeah, you can.
Well, then.
Yeah. I'm really glad you just cut in with that.
Yeah, you can walk on the roof of this entire level and just go to the end.
This is why we love Liam. Everybody leave a comment saying why you love Liam. Thank you.
Thanks. Mwah. Also, I find it
in his mouth.
I sure do all the time, right now as well. What was I gonna say? Fucking. Yeah. By the way, who remembers that Spyro is in this game and he's kind of important to the plot for some reason?
We talk about that.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking weird. He's just there. It's just okay. Sure.
Well, you can tell that was supposed to be something else, and they ran out of time.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
It's just strange that they have like little collabs or references in like there's the Crash Bandicoot, like the Crash Purple and Spyro Orange, but those games don't exist.
Yeah.
Yes. There's little references and jokes across the series, but this game actually has Spyro in it as like this is why the villains don't they don't
they don't win in the end.
Impede. Yeah, they don't win in the end because Spyro's there. It's like, okay, cool, dude. Spyro's here. Interesting. Very cool.
It's like I think if they kind of made like a joke about that, like well, that was weird. Like if they at least acknowledge that, but that's how that plot point gets resolved, and it's not like they call attention to that. You know, the most you get is Cortex,
and
going,
then it's just gone.
The most you get is Cortex going, that's it. That's literally it. You know.
Yeah.
And
then he's just gone after the cutscene ends. Like he's not like standing there to interact with. He just disappears after that cutscene's over.
Yeah, well, that'll require more time to animate him.
It's so stupid. It's like, yeah, I know. You can walk over this entire level. Let's keep going.
I don't have any major complaints either. The only thing that bothered me was the tutorial. Although there is something that annoys me.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, again,
that's something we brought up.
Where have you been brought up? Where have you been for the past 14 fucking videos? I burned through text like crazy.
Oh my god, I just realized when you were saying that line, it was like, slow down.
Yeah. Talk too much.
Problem. All in all, the game runs really well and it's got some beautiful environments to run around in. It controls well enough, so I don't have any major complaints either. The only thing that bothered me was the tutorial. Although there is something that annoys me in this game. Why is the camera inverted?
Yeah, there it is.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that again. That was a stupid joke, and I feel like an idiot for thinking that would be funny in that old review. No, if I'm really going to go down that path, this is the way I'm going to do it.
Yeah, there it is. Look at this fucking thing. I just put every video effect.
After phase 1 of Cortex is...
And yeah, that was another one that Pat made. Pat actually sent me that.
Yeah.
He sent me that without. I think I played it before, but it's that remix without the beat, like without the drum.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Without the
because I
percussion,
remember you're
that's what I'm
just
trying
like, that was a main point when you were doing the script. It was like, I have this thing for the other video and I want it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Like, you can put your weird, dumb song in. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Hey, y'all mind if... Yeah, there you go. Fucking...
We get into phase 2, where we have to fight a giant fucking robot. And I just gotta say, the music in this part is incredibly badass. The soundtrack of this game is made by an a cappella group named Spiral Mouth. If you don't know what that means,
Oh, there's a picture of their album, which is not good.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, it means all of their mouths are all.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, me and Steve, fucking no one knows who Steve is, XD, but someone called Steve, one of our Canadian friends. Me and Steve listened to that album, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's really not
I remember
good.
you brought up, I think I mentioned this too, V. Lee was the name of one of the ladies. She's like some Asian lady. You just called her Vile.
Her first name is V-I-V, and her last name is just L-E. And I think it was Steve who noticed it. He was like, yeah, Vile. Her name's Vile. We're like, oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Liam a fellow Canadian?
No, Liam is
I'm Australian.
Steve is a fellow Canadian.
Okay.
Steve is a friend of ours. He's like long friend to the channel.
Okay.
Yeah. He was part of a very short-lived podcast that we did. We were going to do a podcast, and then that eventually...
Why are you fucking bring this up?
Well, we were going to do a podcast, like, this between, like, it was going to be the...
Liam seems very upset about that podcast.
It was going to be
It was just shit!
Yeah.
It was just so shit!
We were going to do a podcast, and it kind of wasn't very good. But we kind of salvaged, like... Because we were saying, like, you know, if anybody ends up finding this shit, you know, we're going to have... I might be cornered and have to talk about the STIMPYLAND, and then I was kind of like, fuck it, let's just talk about it. Like, let's just do that, you know? And I thought it would just be best to have two people, and Steve didn't really mind, you know? He's a busy guy. He doesn't care, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just me and Liam doing it. And now we got Badman, so we got our Canadian replacement back, you know? There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look, the music in this game is done only with voices. There's not a single instrument used. The music...
They might as well.
That's a lie.
They might... Well...
You can literally hear instruments in the background as I say that.
No, the thing is...
Well, it's not instruments, it's their voices, but there's effects over it to make it sound as close as possible to the instruments they can.
That's the thing, dude. Yeah, it's like...
I think there is some instruments in there, though. I don't think it's all voice.
I don't know. Well, either way, what is it? I was going to say, there's certainly some cases, I was bringing this up before, where, you know, they sound so close to instruments that they should have just used instruments. Like, Rooftop Rampage is a good example where, you know, the... that would have hit so much harder if it was like an actual, like, you know, distorted guitar, but instead it's fucking...
Yeah. Get some, like, fucking distorted bass and some, like, fucking really good fucking kick drums.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I would be okay if it then had a vocal sample come in and go, ah, like it does later in the song. You know, that'd be okay. Like, I wouldn't mind. I like weird vocal samples in songs. It's just, I think with this game, it's really overwhelming. And also, there's the unfortunate, you know, scenario you find yourself in where you just are kind of left wondering, why didn't they just use instruments, you know? Like, that's...
and
Also, well, I don't think you could defend this song, Badman, because I want you to listen to this after we record. It is the song that plays during the Entropy and Embryo boss fight. It is worst thing that exists.
I think I know the one you're talking about. Don't get me wrong, not all of the songs are good.
Yeah.
But I do like about 75 to 80% of the album.
Song. Yeah. Soundtrack. Not album, but yes.
Yeah, soundtrack. You know what I mean.
Yeah, that one is fucking terrible. That one is garbage.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's the one where Cortex is being chased by bees. It's probably one of my favorite songs.
What is it? That's what the hell's that song?
Because that's an actual song, isn't it? It's an
acapella. Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is Bumblebee, isn't it? It's like a.
Yeah, and then there's another one too that I really like, and it's the one where they're. It's the one where I'm pretty sure it's in this, and there's like a weird segment dedicated to it. It's probably coming up, so just press play. We'll just get to it. I'm pretty sure I remember it now.
Incredibly unique, and there really aren't many other games that sound like this. The
Yeah, I'll give it
soundtrack is
that.
widely considered the best part of this game and some of the best in the series. And anyone who doesn't like this game's music is just a butt. Right, Stimpy? Stimpy?
Right.
Uh-oh.
You monster!
Yeah, that's right. I don't like Twinsanity's music.
You sit on a throne of lies!
I remember
I
this.
think-
I had you at one point just yell like, you being like, "Fuck you! I can't believe you'd say that!" And I had you just yelling like in the background, like I said, you know, just stand like far away from your mic and yell like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I stood on the other side of my room and I just yelled at my microphone.
Yeah, and
like
I put that on in the background while
10
yeah.
minutes.
And what's funny was because I remember I had like 2 minutes of you just yelling like that. There's a bunch of stuff that isn't in the video. You're just saying like
The
dumb
line,
shit,
the line coming up is one of the most quoted lines by like a lot of the people who still watch my videos and a lot of my friends.
What is it?
Interesting.
You sit on a throne of butt sex.
What the fuck?
I think this game's music is annoying.
You sit on a throne of butt sex.
There you go.
Yes, I'm acknowledging
There
it,
it
and
is.
I'm gonna talk about it. In my old review of this game, I said Twinsanity's music was
You
annoying.
can hear me in the background.
Yeah.
Just going.
It's a shame because I remember you sent me like, and I was gonna just upload that separately, and I think I just forgot to. Like I had just like audio of
it's
you
the
just
whole,
doing
like,
that.
I think it's a whole like 8 to 10 minute clip of just me like.
No, it wasn't
yelling
that long. It was like
profanities
2
at
minutes,
you.
but yeah.
Yeah, it was
It
long.
was long. It was much longer than what's actually in the video. Yeah, and I had that.
Yeah.
I was gonna upload it, and I think I just forgot to, and I don't have it anymore.
You're just like, yeah, just yell at like from a distance for like, I don't know, like 10, 20 seconds. I went on for like 2, 3 minutes just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm acknowledging it, and I'm gonna talk about it. In my old review of this game, I said Twinsanity's music was annoying. Now, I'll admit that I was overdoing it a tad in my old review, but I still kind of stand by what I said.
I'm not even. I can barely listen to myself here, and you go, "You stupid!" Oh, this shit, like,
pretty good.
this is good because I know someone commented on this on the last one, like, you know.
Yeah.
How a lot of these videos, they've been tons of fun to watch, and it's been a positive experience the whole time, but there were, like, some bummer moments where I was just like, yeah, that video's shit, you know? And then, like, the last video that we covered, the SpongeBob movie game review, we were actually like, oh, it's not even that bad. Like, that was actually, like, pretty decent video. You know, and this one, we're kind of just laughing, like, at the video. It's like, there's genuinely funny stuff in here, you know? It's made for a nice character arc, you know?
I find my work my best when I am, like bouncing off of someone else.
Yeah.
Is when, like, my best comes out.
I would say so, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Liam, you want to say anything?
No thanks.
Yes, I'm acknowledging it, and I'm gonna talk about it. In my old review of this game, I said Twinsanity's music was annoying. Now, I'll admit that I was overdoing it a tad in my old review, but I still kind of stand by what I said. I think some of my most hateful comments came from my old Twinsanity review, which was mostly positive, but because I talked negatively about the music, that somehow warranted all these death threats. I do have to give credit to Twinsanity, its music is one of a kind. There are not many games that have a music similar to Twinsanity's. Very much like Spyro soundtrack.
It's really distracting. Like, it's also funny.
Yeah, it is.
I'm hearing what I say, and you know, what is it? That was true. A lot of the negative comments did just come from the fact that, you know, I didn't like the game's soundtrack. Although when I say death threats, that was never really true. Like, I said death threats, and, you know, first off, there weren't ever any like major threats that I remember where it was, you know, I'm going to find you and kill you. But it was more like the worst shit was like, I hope you die or something like that. But that's not really a threat. And also, those kinds of comments were, you know, like, part of it is just kind of comes with the territory, but I kind of did like over exaggerate, like, you know, oh wow, there's so many people just saying awful things about me. It's like, it wasn't. It was like,
well, that was like your main, that was like your main comment when you left YouTube was just like, you couldn't handle the comments anymore. You just,
well, that was true. Yeah.
Driving you insane.
I couldn't. Yeah. Because I was not very emotionally mature at the time, I think. Although actually I was young too, so.
Oh yeah, you were a baby.
Just a little baby, yeah. A little gay baby. Now I'm a man. Now I'm a man. A big, strong man. Yeah.
Extremely identifiable and recognizable. Also, it's pretty damn impressive. I'll admit that upon first hearing that this game's music was all voices, I didn't believe it. I swore I heard an instrument in there once or twice. Credit where credit is due, Spyro Mount's work is impressive. But is that synonymous with it being just really good? I don't know. I can say that most of this is subjective, and that I might be nitpicking. However, this game's music did get overzealous at times. In a few instances, it was so obnoxious that I actually found myself turning the game's music off in the options. No joke, this is actual footage of
going. Just
pausing the game, turning the music down, opening iTunes, and playing different music instead. There are songs in this game that
normie, Jesus. iTunes. Not even using fucking Winamp or Musicabee. Fucking piece of shit.
I actually did like. And for most of the songs that I didn't like, I could say it was just subjective. But there are some songs that make no fucking sense at all. Like the music to Slip Slide Icecapades. Awesome, at first.
I disagree. I think this part, it's funny because I know what I'm going to say. Like, oh, it's good at first and then it turns into shit. I hate the whole thing now, so there you go. I hate the whole thing.
Colon D!
He decides to go into Limp Bizkit mode.
I like the whole thing.
Kill me now. That's good. No, yeah. But the fact, like, for example, you hear their voices going in that part, like, that's a voice, but nobody's voice sounds like that. Like, there's clearly a lot of effects being put over that to make it sound like a distorted guitar. It's like, no. Like, just get an actual instrument to do it. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's incredibly annoying. It makes me want to go all Reservoir Dogs and cut my ear off. But that's only one extreme case. I'd say give this game's music a listen. You might love it, you might hate it. It's got a unique, one-of-a-kind style that's incredibly recognizable. But on the other hand, it can be repetitive and it can be annoying. For this review's sake, we'll say the game's soundtrack is average. Since it's not really good, but it's not really bad. It's just average. There, was that so bad, man?
XD.
Yeah, this is the song I was talking about.
Fuck you!
So move on.
That was good. This is good.
I love that scene.
It's pretty wholesome. That's funny because you remember this a lot. I don't. Like,
The next level, Cavernous Catastrophe, where we see Crash and Cortex team up. That was kind of the gimmick with this game.
You guys remember the old trailers of this game that used to run back on Nickelodeon? They're
I
working
didn't.
together, but they don't have to like it! On the back of the box, they show off all of Crash and Cortex's new moves. Roller Brawl, Twin Slam, Spank, Twin Throw, Humiliskate, and Censored?
That's got a little wink. I was saying my...
Yeah, the commercial thing was all your idea. I had never seen commercials until you showed them to me.
That's funny. Because I'm pretty sure you said I remember seeing them on Nickelodeon. That was a fucking lie.
Yeah, it was.
No, I think you said you guys remember back seeing these on Nickelodeon. I think,
yeah.
So.
But yeah, that was all your idea, and I just rolled with it.
Because I do remember seeing the
commercials. I thought it was a good bit. I hadn't seen the commercials until you showed them to me.
Yeah, they're weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
That fucking Super Sponge music.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Twinsanity lets you control a number of different characters. You've got Crash, who's the stock character of this game. Then there's also instances where you get to play as both...
The stock character? The stock car?
Yeah, the stock character.
Yeah. The National Association of Stock Character, Auto Racing. I don't know, shit. I couldn't think of a funny word.
Some great wording there.
Crash
some
and
great wording there from you.
Yeah, dude.
Cortex at the same time. These segments are actually pretty cool, whether it be rolling around in a ball, using Cortex as a skateboard and possible sex slave, or just platforming with both of them at once.
Dude, yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's part of the censored thing. I was saying if I were to talk about the censored thing now, you know, oh yeah, we got, you know, the spin, the roller brawl, Crash and Cortex fucking aggressively, you know, great shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I do it now.
Twinsanity is constantly throwing curveballs. It's not a game that'll get tiring after a while, and there's plenty of variety to keep you engaged throughout.
We also get two other playable characters, one being Cortex and the other being his cyborg niece, Nina, who's also a new character. Cortex...
Hey, here's a question.
Who the fuck is she?
Well, Neener Cortex, you know.
I know, but who the fuck is she?
Cortex's cyborg niece. Well, hey, she's a cyborg.
I mean, she shows up in other games after this one, too. It's not like she's only in this one.
It's just weird that 5 games into the series, they just introduced this character who's, like, questionably his niece or daughter.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking strange.
I mean, that's the thing with games, though. It's like the next game always has, you know, a new character or whatever, like new people to introduce or whatever. And I think they kind of covered it a little bit by being like, yeah, she's been in this school the whole time learning how to be an evil scientist. That's why you've never seen her.
Yeah.
Until we go, like, out of our way to visit her.
I think
it's just kind of weird that she's a mute in this game as well. She's, like, completely mute, and then she just starts talking in tag team racing.
Yeah.
It's like they couldn't decide what they wanted
also,
the character
tag team
to do,
racing.
and then they were just like, actually, you know what? We do want her to speak. Sorry.
We don't have enough time to hire a voice actor. She just won't talk.
Yeah, there you go.
Not enough
also,
money.
Tag Team Racing does have a character that we still can't figure out what the fuck he is.
Von Clutch, yeah, this green cunt.
This green... just this fucking green cunt. Who the fuck is he?
We had this debate for a while. I need your opinion, Badman. Okay, so a cyborg, because I actually just said cyborg niece. And a cyborg is someone that is, like, part human or part, just... Part, like, living animal,
Yeah.
Part human, part robot. They have some robotic enhancement,
Yeah.
What is it? So, Nina, I call her a cyborg because she's, a person, whatever they are, and then she's enhanced with robotics. Is Engine a cyborg?
Yeah, I would say
so. Yeah,
so.
there you go. See? Good. He agrees with me. Because I don't think... Liam, were you on the opposing side of this argument? I don't remember.
I was... well, the thing is, I was always under the impression... I didn't think he was a cyborg. Like, in all of the originals, like Crash 1, 2, and 3, I thought he was just some guy who had a fucking rocket in his head. That didn't necessarily mean that made him a fucking cyborg. I just thought... He got a rocket in his head that didn't go off.
Over the one side of his face.
Yeah, but I didn't think that was a cyborg thing. I thought that was just... He got a rocket in his head, it didn't blow up, so he had to get, like, metal fucking head there.
Yeah, but that's still robotic parts on his face.
Yeah.
And, like,
I didn't know it was a robotic part, though.
Well,
I didn't think it was a robotic...
He was saying, is it robotic or is it just metal plates?
Yeah, because by that logic...
I guess if it's not robotic... by that
logic...
lets him, like, see, then yeah, it's cyborg. But if it's just, like, a metal plate, then no, it's just... Because then, like, anyone who gets, like, knee surgery and has, like, screws in their leg is a cyborg, and I don't think that counts.
Exactly. That's what my argument, because that's what I was always under the impression of. I didn't think that his eye was, like, anything...
I think he could see through that.
Yeah.
I think it's, like, a cyborg eye, so I would call it.
Yeah, that was the thing I was thinking about, was his eye, Because his eye, it's weird. Like, I'm pretty sure he can see through it,
Yeah.
And, like, I know, what is it, I like in Nitro Card how they redesigned that eye, so it's like a laser eye thing, and he can move that around. So that might have not been part of the original design, but I know Charles Zambilis did help work on that game, so make of that what you will.
There you go.
But
Okay.
Also, what is it? I was gonna say something else. I don't remember. Who cares? Let's keep going. This kind of sucks ass in this game. When playing as Cortex, you get to use his blaster. Basically, all you have to do is mash square and just watch everything die in front of you, including your interest in the game. I hear people praise this game as such a phenomenal platformer, yet I couldn't stand these segments with Cortex at all. They were incredibly boring. This was probably the worst part of the game. Nina was different. Not really good or bad, just different. That kind of seems to be a theme with this game. She can use her arm as a grappling hook, which is pretty badass, but...
I'm surprised you weren't more into Nina. Because she was more like... She's more mind over mutiny. She's more of like... Her segments are more like beat-em-uppy than the normal Crash Bandicoot.
Well, unlike you, I don't like having sex with children, so that's why I'm not into Nina. Sorry, let's continue.
Wow.
Damn. No, yeah, I get Nina's like... That was an interesting idea for a character. I don't remember what I actually say here, so I want to hear that, and then I'll just elaborate on it. So, yeah. Hey, at least they tried something different. I just found these segments kind of boring.
Well, you know what? I find you boring.
Thanks.
The gameplay is decent enough. Crash and Nina are fun, and there are plenty of creative ideas that are expressed with Crash and Cortex. Although Cortex alone is pretty terrible. But up to this point, we could say that this game is a good game. Well, there's a reason we consider it average. The glitches. Crash Twinsanity glitches are their own YouTube category now.
Hey, that was a joke, another joke I used from an old video. But yeah. And I just gave it to you instead. You stole my joke.
Thanks.
Yeah, so that's... I probably did write most of this then, you're right. That's interesting,
yeah. You did.
Because that was an old joke. I used
that.
I used the same thing. I said Crash Twinsanity glitches are their own YouTube category. Because they really are. Like, there's so many fucking glitches, it's insane.
You can break this game in half, and it really isn't that hard. Now, it's true that the glitches don't get in the way too much, because I hardly found any on my playthrough of the game. But the glitches don't make any attempt to hide. It does not take a lot of skill to break this game. It shows that this game clearly did not get the amount of testing that it should have, whether it be Universal rushing the team or just laziness on Oxford's part. In a way, the glitches can actually make this game a lot of fun. Maybe that's the reason this game is so popular among fans. There are so many glitches in this game that if you try to abuse them, your run of the game can be completely different from someone else's.
They offer a special kind of replay value that this game otherwise lacks. However, this obviously wasn't the developer's intent. Oh, and speaking of the replay value, there's practically none in this game. First off, the game is very
there's a ton of replay value in the fact that it's fun to break, but that's it.
I feel like there's a ton of replay value in the collectibles in it. I feel like there's a ton of stuff that you can go back and get, and like
there's only so much of the game that you can backtrack to, though, right? Like, I don't think you could go throughout the whole thing. Like, I could be wrong about that.
But that's what I mean, though. You could go through the game once and then be like, okay, well, now I want to replay it again and like get all the gems and everything. Like, there's a decent amount of reason to go back to the game.
Yeah, I think another part, though, is that you want incentive, too. And the 100% ending is, like, not super crazy with Twinsanity.
Yeah.
And then all you unlock is the
concept art. Did you get, like, a Spyro trailer?
Yeah, you mostly get the just concept art and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thing. Like, you know, it's cool that there's a lot of content, but I feel like there should be incentive to play it. That's a big problem that Mind Over Mutant has, too, unfortunately, is that, you know, there's plenty of stuff to do, like, that's probably the biggest problem with Mind Over Mutant, you know. Even though I love that game, there is no incentive for getting 100% at all, and it's a pain in the fucking ass, so it's just not worth it at all. Like, you know, there's a ton of post-game stuff that you could do. Like, there's all these arenas and shit, and there's, like, you know, tons of upgrades you get for the Titans and, like, different, you know, there's all this cool stuff that you get. But, like, there's no incentive for doing any of it because the game doesn't even acknowledge that you've done it. There's no 100% ending, you know? There's no real acknowledgement. I think you get, like, a costume or something, and that's it. Like, there's no acknowledgement that you just did it, you know?
That's a bummer.
Yeah, nothing in the game just tells you, like, congrats, you did it, you know? Way to go, dude. It's like, no, there's nothing.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst thing about that game. And I feel like Twinsanity kind of suffers from the same thing, where there is plenty of content there, but there's not a major incentive to go back and do it.
I don't really think you get anything for getting everything.
You just get like an FMV,
individual thing you
get like a bonus cutscene.
Each individual thing you get. Yeah, they're just like, we couldn't put any of this shit in the game, so, you know, when you collect a gem, we'll let you see parts of it that you don't get to play.
It's like, gee, you know what? I would have rather fucking played it, but fine, you know, fucking... Oh my god, I farted. That was great. That was a good fart.
That's twice.
Yeah,
2 times in one video.
You don't even know, like I said, 14 episodes, you haven't been around, fucking... I've been farting up a storm. You know?
Oh, God.
More Fortnite than Fortnite. Yeah.
Short, and it's very easy. The game only took me about 4 or 5 hours to beat with no glitches. Hell, the thing is as short as Badman's cock.
Oh,
well,
shit.
Yeah, all the Crash games generally.
Nice, dude. Fucking Liam, we got him. Fucking high five.
Yeah,
fucking
there it is.
He's got a 5-hour-long penis. That's hilarious.
Wow, now that you say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what you said. You said the game's 4 to 5 hours long. It's as short as Badman's cock.
He's got a 4 to 5 hour penis, yeah. That means he lasts 4 to 5 hours?
Compliment.
Is that because, like,
that's how long
he's got some, you know, he's so good at sex, or is that more just because it's, like, he's got some, like, condition, you know?
Crippling depression.
He's got crippling depression.
Yeah.
I was going to say something like he can't come, but that too, so, yeah.
Really short, but the replay value is a significant draw to them. What would Crash 2 be without the gems? It would be absurdly short. What would CTR be without all the...
gems in Twinsanity.
Yeah, but I guess there's just, like, less incentive to do it. I don't know. Because the way I see it, you find the gem and pick it up. You know, while with Crash 2, it's like you have to actually go and, you know, get all the
get the boxes, do the death routes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's puzzles and shit. I feel like it's just a really bad comparison.
Fair enough. Let me see what I'm gonna say. Let's let Stimpy finish this point.
What would Crash 2 be without the gems? It would be absurdly short. What would CTR be without all the extra challenges and modes? Incredibly short. Now, it is true that Twinsanity does have gems to collect, but these really don't count. Gems don't come from breaking boxes, but just by doing puzzles and finding them in hidden spots. Finding these gems really isn't hard. At all. It's just tedious. It feels like a real waste of time. True, the gems do give...
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like the gems are kind of a waste, because they don't give you much.
I feel like I agree with you, but I feel like there's also a decent chunk of them that aren't tedious or that aren't totally obvious. I feel like it's like most of them are tedious and obvious, but there's still there's still like a nice chunk of them that are.
Would you say
challenge.
Yeah, would you say that there are, you know, a few gems in the rough?
Yeah, there you go. That's the perfect analogy.
Very XD. Thanks for listening,
okay.
guys.
Anyway,
give you concept art, FMVs, and other goodies, but only the real nerds like Badman are gonna care about this.
Roasted again.
Exactly.
Fucking nerd.
Damn, holy shit, right now.
Fucking nerd.
He got me.
Nerd.
Games do give you concept art, FMVs, and other goodies, but only the real nerds like Badman are gonna care about this sort of stuff. Maybe it's because the rest of the game is so short, but I had a difficult time motivating myself to get everything in this game. I just didn't find it that fun. And even with getting all the gems, it's still just a really short game.
Crash Twinsanity is a fun experience.
That was cute as fuck, by the way. The music, did you notice how the music changed? From fucking...
No.
When it's me talking, it's the... From Ratchet and Clank, the song for the first level in the game, it's this... It's this dope song, and then later on in the game, there's another level that uses, like, kind of the same music. It's like a remix, you know? One part, it's like this fucking grungy sounding shit, and then this other one, it's like this tropical song, but it's like the same song. Liam knows what I'm talking about. Anyone that's played Ratchet and Clank, the first one, knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I use... It's the first level's Velden, the second one's Pokitaru. I use the Velden music when I'm talking, and then I switch to the Pokitaru music when you talk. Like, listen to that again.
Oh, how sweet.
Motivating myself to get everything in this game. I just didn't find it that fun. And even with getting all the gems, it's still just a really short game.
Crash Twinsanity is a fun experience, but it's also a very short-lived one. This is a game that you'll enjoy the first time, but you just won't find yourself coming back to very often. It doesn't have the same appeal the older games
no one will notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Totally sick. The visionary to STIMPYLAND is amazing.
So this game isn't really that good,
Ahead of its time.
but it's not really that bad either.
I disagree. I think we both disagree with that. Well, you like this game. I think it's not very good at all.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
I don't like. I still agree with what I'm saying. I don't think it's an amazing game. I don't think it's like fucking outstanding. But I like it. I think it's fun. I'd play it.
I honestly don't like. I'm kind of like, it's weird. It depends on what kind of day I'm having, in all honesty. Like, I think it's fun to break, and it's interesting. It's a very interesting game, but I just don't think it's very good. You know?
I've never broken the game. I'll just sit there and play it for fun. I'll play it through, and I think it's a great game.
My thing with this game is, I don't know.
It's not the best Crash. Yeah. It's not fantastic. It's not
I'd rather just play Mutants.
But it's fun. It's different. I like it.
That's what it usually comes down to.
I haven't played Mutants yet, and you keep bringing it up.
Fucking play it, dude. It's really good. This is STIMPYLAND and Badman Review fucking Mind Over Mutant. Like, fuck, the game's really good.
No, more like STIMPYLAND tries to get Badman to play Mind Over Mutant. I gotta play Crash the Titans first.
MONSTRO T-poses on everyone. That's the name of the video.
Average.
Would I recommend this game? I can definitely see fans of the older games liking this, but as a standalone platformer, just judging it as any other, it's pretty weak. If you like this game, that's great. Keep liking it, I'm not gonna make fun of you.
Yes, I will. I will make fun of you.
Well, that's why you did do that.
I will make fun of you ruthlessly.
Yeah, you did it all video.
I will make fun of you ruthlessly for liking it, but it's all in good fun. You know, I don't think you're a shitty person if you like this game. So yeah, penises. Yep.
I just hope that one day you get to appreciate the likes of superior platformers, such as Jak and Daxter, Battle for Bikini Bottom, Spyro the Dragon, Ratchet and Clank, or the original Crash games.
I'm the Badman Land, and I give this game a 10 out of 7.
Fuck you.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for watching this.
Fuck you. There you go, dude. And that's that.
Yep.
Yeah, so listen to this.
Battle for Bikini Bottom, Spyro the Dragon, Ratchet and Clank, or the original.
That's also just weird that I was talking about that, and I'm like, you know, I hope you come to like the original games more, you know? Like, I hope you learn how wrong you were, you know? Like, I hope you fucking learn, hey, idiot, stop playing this fucking, you know...
Stop having fun and play better games.
Yeah. You Twinsanity fans play in your fucking fire-fearing caves while us fucking Spyro fans ascend, motherfucker. You know? Yeah, dude. There it is.
As we're paused on Crash, too.
Yeah.
Crash games.
I'm the
Rated
Badman.
kill all.
What do you say?
I said it's rated kill all. That's what Crash 2 is rated.
Battle for Bikini Bottom, Spyro the Dragon, Ratchet and Clank, or the original.
Yeah, kill all. There it is. That's weird. Yeah, K.A. Kill all people. Yes, please.
I'm the Badman Land, and I give this game a 10 out of 7.
Fuck you.
There you go. That's classic. That video just kind of ends. You know.
That was a rip on one of your old like review systems. Like all your old videos.
Used to write everything.
Yeah, we talked about that plenty. We've talked about that.
Yeah,
extensively. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were just like, yeah, let's just rip on that because it was stupid.
Yeah, it was.
Who reviews games out of 7?
Even at the time, even at this point, I was ripping on that. I was like, this is so dumb. Like, I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. In my Wrath video,
well,
I had
at the time, I remember you telling me, you're like, it was just like I wanted to be different. I didn't want to go out of 10. I wanted to do it as 7, so it's different.
We talked about that plenty, but yeah, it was something like that we kind of came to. It was like, I just kind of wanted, to be different. I think I also said it's like, I forgot that, 0 is a number, which is why I did it like that, because it's like, I wanted there to be like, there's like a middle score, like, between 1 and 7, like, 4 is like, 4 is like the middle, Exactly, it's the median, While between like 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10, there's no median. The median is 5.5. But granted, here's the thing, 0 is a number, so then, there you go. Cool math fact. Dumbass.
0 exists. Who would have guessed?
After all me making fun of you, you just have this very underhanded dumbass. Fucking idiot. Yeah. Well, this video is now... So what is it? Let me just see what I say here, because it's probably going to be something like that has not aged well at all. I'm going to be like, hey, check out all the new...
like a fucking minute to the video.
Like, hey, man, check out all the new videos I'm going to make. It's funny, one of the best... Another great moment on the STIMPYLAND commentaries is when fucking, we were watching one video, and in the video I say, now is the topic of what's going to come next for this channel, and I just say death. It's like, this probably has not aged well at all. Let's figure it out.
Thanks for watching this fun little collab me and Badman made. Now, believe it or not, both of us actually made reviews of this game before. The reason why we're doing it again is because our old reviews sucked. If you want to see Badman and some shoehorned character
the
named
long
Doppel...
pause is great. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's just hilarious.
Let's see.
Now, believe it or not, both of us actually made reviews of this game before. The reason why we're doing it again is because our old reviews sucked. If you want to see Badman and some shoehorned shitty character named the Doppelgamer, you can click here to see his old Crash Twinsanity review.
Oh god, the
And if you want to hear...
I don't remember any of that. I don't think I watched that video.
I wanted like a way to like have another character in my videos, so I made like a fucking really shitty like shoehorned like doppel me, and I wanted to be able to have it so I wanted to be able to have it so like I could edit it so like we would both be on the screen at the same time. It just ended up being a really fucking stupid idea.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, the scene that's on there right now is beautiful because it's me crying in the shower eating ice cream, and I straight up ate that watery ice cream, and it was not good.
Hell yeah.
An obnoxious remix of me shouting "Why is the camera inverted?" that goes on for way too long, you can click here to see my old Crash Twinsanity review. Warning, these old videos suck, and you may lose brain cells in the process of watching them.
If you'd like to have an actual good first impression of our stuff, then you can click here to see Stimpy's Spyro 2 review. It's actually kind of decent for a butthead like the STIMPYLAND. And if you want to see some of my...
asshole. You gonna apologize to me for that one?
Very cool.
You got anything you want to say to me?
I'm sorry, you're a butthead.
I forgive you.
Super sexy awesome reviews, click here to see my sequence review. Thanks
That is
for
one
watching.
of my favorite videos still.
No, I know you talk about that.
Sequence review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that one and liking it, so yeah.
Yeah, that's a great video.
I'm a great video.
I released like 3 videos in that time period, and I feel like I have not made any videos that have lived up to the quality of those.
You gotta watch those videos again. You gotta break them down, You gotta do something like this, because this has helped me so much.
I did like Sequence. Yeah. I did Nightmare Ned, Sequence, and Cube, and those were my like 3 favorite videos. No, it's not even called Sequence anymore. They had to change to the name of the game. I forget why. I think it was like copyright issues.
Interesting. But yeah, that what is it? That is something that like, you should do something like this. Like, just go and you don't have to record it, but just, like have like a friend and you just like watch your old videos and shit.
Commentate over all 200 Badman videos.
Fuck
over
yeah.
200 now.
Or just like over the ones you really like, and you kind of, if you comment over them and you comment on the things that are going on, when you're actually talking about it and like dissecting it, you kind of start to understand stuff, Because I remember before I started this series, it's like, oh, I think I understand the STIMPYLAND, I remember that, and and it's like, there was so much stuff to unpack when I started talking about these videos, like, we had so much stuff to talk about it, and I, like, understand, like, I have a pretty clear image of, like, all the shit that happened, like, in my head now, and at the time, it was kind of just still, like, a mystery to me, something's kind of just, like, I didn't really understand, I'd kind of, like, forgotten, like, most of this stuff, and, I kind of thought, like, why did I just blow up and delete the channel one time, and now, like, actually getting to sit down and just watch that sort of arc take place, and dissect all the shit in the videos, it's up.
In remembering that point in your life, because it's like every time you watch a video, it's like a timestamp. You're like, oh, I remember where I was at in my life at that point. That's what was going on.
It's pretty cool. But something I was gonna say as well was the it's also helped me a lot when it comes to, like, making videos now, because I watch these and, you know, there are so many things, because I'm working on a video right now, you know, surprise, surprise. It'll take forever before it's done, but it'll be done someday. But yeah. And I know, like, all the things to, you know, I can look at this and say, hey, you know, there's some good stuff from this Stimbyland that we can salvage and use in new videos, and I can look at all the stuff I did wrong and say, yeah, don't do that, you know? These are pitfalls. These are things I should avoid, you know?
The learning experience.
Yeah, and it's good. And I would recommend you do, like, you don't have to record it, but just get a friend and just talk over the videos and just talk to them about it and just try and dissect, like, you know, hell, I'd fucking do it with you, you know? Dissect, like, you know, what about this video is cool and shit, you know, and do all that. That helped me so much, like, understand, like, you know, how these videos, you know, I'm repeating myself. You get what I'm saying, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, what are we going to say now?
Jake.
And we'll catch you next. That was it, okay.
Reviews, click here to see my sequence review. Thanks for watching.
And we'll catch you next time.
Look at that.
See, that aged fairly well. It was a nice ending.
Yeah, wholesome. Is there anything at the end? I don't think there is.
I don't think so either.
Fucking sick, dude. Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
And that's that. Anyway. So.
Oh, epic style.
Epic style, folks. That's right.
Any ending sentiments?
We're going to talk about that for quite a bit. So, thoughts on the whole Stimbyland commentaries as a whole. I have really, really, really enjoyed doing this series. This has been, like, so much fun for me. Like, this has been great. Like, this has been, you know, just such an overwhelmingly positive experience, you know? And it's just good. I'm glad, because, to be honest, when I started this series, you could hear me in the first episode, like, when I'm doing my whole... I have, like, a 20-minute, like, part where I'm just talking, you know, and Liam, you were there. You remember. Badman probably hasn't seen it. But, you know, yeah.
Nope.
I was really nervous when I started doing these. I was like, you know... How are people going to react? Are they going to hear me and say, like, where the fuck have you been? You know, like, what's wrong with you? Or, like, yeah, idiot. You know, like, are all the people that held grudges against me, are they still going to fucking, you know... Are they going to, you know, still be angry at me? You know, it's so weird to...
Meanwhile, no one's probably going to watch it.
It's like, you know, nobody, you know, like, now it's like, you know, it's not a big deal, you know, like...
The people who didn't like you have moved on, and the
exactly,
people who did love you are the ones who are going to come to find you again.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, you know? But it's just weird that I kind of thought, you know, like, oh, geez, you know, are there people that are gonna, like, you know, still think I'm dumb and stuff? I don't know, you know, it obviously now when we're talking about it, and, you know, with the time that's passed, I can say, yeah, it's ridiculous, but, you know, you can't help having those thoughts sometimes.
It was a worry. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I was really nervous about that, but it ended up just being, like, a really positive experience, and that was good, you know?
Yeah.
And I've really, really enjoyed doing these. And yeah.
I'm glad you wanted to bring me on for the finale.
Yeah.
Because you did videos after Twinsanity.
I did one after Twinsanity, and that was it. I did, like, I was active, like, for some time after that. I did, like, live streams and other stuff like that, but I only did, like, one major video after Twinsanity, and that was my top 20 SpongeBob episodes video, which is just lost completely.
Oh yeah, because you started with Spyro, you went to Crash, and then you I did
like a giant string of Crash reviews. I did a bunch of them, and then I took like a month break or something like that, and then I did I did a Spyro. I did like the first 3 Spyro games, then I did Wrath of Cortex, then I did 3 SpongeBob games, and then Twinsanity. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, and I remember you were talking about the next series you wanted to do is you wanted to go into the Jack and Daxter series.
I don't remember that, so...
I could have swore you mentioned that in one of your videos, that you, like, the next, like, series you wanted to talk about was Jack and Daxter.
I don't remember that. I don't remember talking about it in a video, but, yeah.
Maybe it was Ratchet and Clank, but I could have swore you said that you wanted to, like, go into Jack and Daxter next. Maybe it was, like, a private conversation between us, but I thought you said it in a video.
Maybe I did. I don't really remember, to be honest, so...
I mean, you just watched, like, all of them, so...
Yeah, I don't remember hearing that in any of the videos. I would have pointed... Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it was in a private conversation,
Probably.
But I could have swore it was either, like, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, or something that you said you wanted to work on next.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah. Yeah. The thing is like, I would not do a series of videos like what I did on the Stimbyland again. Like, I want to do more videos. I'd like to do that, and I'm working on one right now, and you know, I hope people are gonna like it. But I'm definitely not going to go back to the style of reviews that I used to do. You know.
Yeah.
Granted, I know now.
I can't believe it didn't train you.
I know now, because before I started this, I was kind of the opinion that, you know, like, I should just avoid anything Stimpyland at all costs, that there's just nothing to salvage from those videos. Standing up because my fucking dick feels great. I don't know. I was gonna say something, I don't even remember what. But, I think... Originally, I was going to go, oh, you know, just ignore all this Stimpyland shit. This is just going to be exactly what not to do. But I ended up kind of realizing, you know, there's some good stuff there, and I can definitely salvage that, you know.
I mean, there's a reason that you had, like, 20,000 subscribers or whatever it was.
Oh, I didn't have that many. No, I had, like...
I think you hit around 12.
No, I think...
I remember you were definitely past the 10K mark.
No, I wasn't. I remember, I think, at the height...
You weren't?
At the height, I was. I had a lot of views. I had more views than you, because more people were viewing, but not subscribing.
Did.
Yeah. Because I had a bunch of shit on there before I even did the reviews, but that's another thing.
I could have swore you hit at least the 10K
No,
mark.
I didn't. I think I hit like 3K or 4K at my height. Yeah.
Damn. Still, you got a lot of people watching, and like that just shows that, you know, there was good stuff there, and people were enjoying it.
Yeah, and you know, people are still like kind of discovering the commentaries, and they're going through it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's good. And I'm glad, and you know, people, you know, yeah. So there were people that like that content, you know, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but there are a lot of people that like that, you know, and a lot of them are, you know, watching these videos and shit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was gonna say more, but I can't think of it right now. Liam, do you want to talk about the commentaries for a bit?
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, it's been really fun going through all these videos again because, like I said, I hadn't seen them. I hadn't seen any of the videos in about the same amount of time that you'd seen them, Michael. Yeah. And I just want to say I'm very glad that I'm the one who's been able to be in all of these videos somehow. I haven't missed one.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't know how. But
I waited for you, bro.
And yeah, I was just gonna say I'm really glad that, you know, people have tolerated me because I was kind of just like a random person talking alongside Michael. I've never been in like any of your videos or anything like that before.
You've been on my streams a lot, but
so I was
never in the videos.
Well, yeah, but I've never, to a lot of people who are coming back and seeing the Stimpyland, you know, stuff, and people talk like you talking about it again. They're obviously there for you, so I'm just glad that people, you know, didn't hate me. Just say like, I was really expecting some people to be like, oh, tell this other guy to shut the fuck up and just let Stimpy talk.
The most you ever got was someone just saying like you say yeah a lot. That was it. Like.
Yeah, but I feel like that was probably just because that's what I was doing. Because I was like not really nervous like in the first couple of episodes, but I was kind of.
Well, I'm saying yeah a lot right now.
Cautious to.
Yeah.
I was cautious. I was very cautious, and I would pay attention a lot of the time to what I was saying, because I didn't want to, like, come across as like a dickhead or just an arsehole or something like that.
You fucking fucked that up
I would kind of
episode after you just start laughing at after you start laughing at all the stupid bloopers and shit. Like,
yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm glad people didn't shit on me, which is great. So now everybody can. Now everybody has the permission to call me gay and fat and stupid and dumb and yes.
There you go. Yeah.
You're gonna regret
all
that.
those things.
Yeah, you're gonna.
No, it'll be great.
You're gonna regret that.
I'm going to.
I ask people to leave nice comments, but now you're telling me to leave mean comments. So it's like now you're gonna subject all these people to sensory overload, and they're all gonna die. So that's on you. That's on your hands.
I'm gonna like every comment that calls me one of those things. And I'm going to reply to it with the monocle.
Copy pasta? Fuck yeah, dude. Thanks for the tweet. I've screenshot it and sent it to my attorney in law enforcement. I will not be harassed. Have a nice night. That's the best way to respond to someone if they leave a mean comment. Is the Monica Real copy pasta. I don't think you know what that is, Badman. I'll explain that. I'll explain that after because it's a long story. But yeah. Fucking... What was I gonna say?
Yeah. Very, very fun. It's been very fun, basically, is what I'm saying. Had a lot of fun recording these episodes.
Yeah. Well, Badman, what are your... Because, you know, you got brought on. Do you want to kind of just reminisce about the Stimpyland and Badman, you know, your channel as a whole?
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird, because, like, you were like, when I first started YouTube, there weren't many people that were like my size that were doing the same kind of content as me. I had a lot of other YouTuber friends, but they were all doing like different genres. So they were like, at the time, a lot of my friends were like analytical people, like Satchbag and people like that. They were doing like more crazy analytical stuff on like, you know, the deep, intricate thoughts on Bastion and its backstory and stuff like that. And I had some friends who did like point and click PC games, and my other friend Jordan was doing like a lot of like creepy video games.
Is that Jordan underneath?
But you were like one of the
He's fucking great. I don't know if he still does stuff.
He is.
Yeah.
He doesn't do video game stuff anymore, but he does upload still. He does like weird claymation videos.
That's strange.
They're cool. They're really sweet. I would love to see him direct like something for Cartoon Network. He would be fantastic for that.
I remember loving his videos back when, you know.
Yeah. Anyways, you were like one of the first people I stumbled upon who was like doing like the same kind of like retro PlayStation 1 platformer stuff, and I was like, oh sweet, I gotta get like in contact with this guy.
Yeah, because you commented on my video. I remember that.
Yeah. Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, you gotta check out Stimpyland. He does all the kind of same stuff as you, and you guys you like the same stuff."
And we look the same too.
Oh, well. And I went to your channel, and I was like, "Oh, like this is sweet. Like I would love to like work with this guy." And so I started commenting and trying to get a hold of you, and I finally did.
Yeah.
And it's kind of how we got to the video, and it turned out great. I loved it. It's definitely one of my favorite videos on my channel.
I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would, too. I will say that. Yeah? I kind of was like dreading this one, and then I ended up really liking it. It was pretty fun. Like, you know, I don't agree with all the criticisms and stuff, but like, you know, and it's definitely not the kind of video I would make now. Like if someone approached me with the idea to make
5 years old,
if someone approached me with the idea to make this kind of video now, I would probably say no, you know. But like at the time, you know, I thought that kind of stuff was cool, and you know, this video is probably aged the best, I think, out of all of them. You know.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
And it's good. It's kind of made for a nice little character arc within this. And, you know, this whole kind of thing has been, you know, a big character arc for, you know, the Stimpyland. It's been a big character arc for me, you know. Michael, Monstro, the boy, Stimpy, whatever you want to say. You know? It's been a really nice, like, sort of character arc. You know, you got to see the rise, the fall, and then the rebirth of the Stimpyland. So, yeah, pretty sick. And, yeah. I was saying,
I am glad to hear you're making more stuff. I can't wait to see it.
I already have some stuff, and I would recommend you check it out. I like the way some of that stuff came out. I think my newer videos are some of my best.
I have to say, I was one of the people who were just like, "Where the fuck did Stimpyland go? What is like?"
Thankfully, you got to actually talk to me about it, unlike most people. Most people didn't get that closure.
Yeah. Everyone just decided to come comment on all of my videos. Where's Stimpyland? Is he coming back?
Yeah.
I got asked it so many times that I made like one comment that I think is pinned to the bottom of the video we just watched.
I'm too lazy to check it. I believe you.
It might not be, but someone like asked a question and I pinned it, and it was just like literally just me straight up like, this is the last time I'm talking about it. This is what happened to Stimpyland. Like, he didn't like the comment. He didn't like the comments. Didn't like the attention.
Yeah.
Like he just wanted to be on his own and do his own thing and not have to worry about YouTube anymore. So he's gone. So that's the last of it. Stop asking me.
Yeah, but
because it was just like I would get like not even just comments. I would get emails. I would get inboxes on YouTube, just consistent. Like for like the first year and a half after you left,
people were trying to figure out what happened.
There was fucking like rumors and stuff. There was like someone who made a whole like website on like this is like what happened to Stimpy, and like there was like weird like shit like me and you like fought, and like the last video was like one like me and you, so like there's this big like conspiracy theory revolving around us, and I was like, dude, people are reading. This is not like JonTron and Aaron. You guys are reading too far into this.
It's fucking sick, dude. I didn't know about that. That's fucking great.
It was like it was deep.
It's fucking great, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, fucking. Well, there you go.
It was like the guy got tired of YouTube and he left. That's it. Like, stop reading into it.
Well, the thing is, it's funny because I wanted to be left alone, but I ended up creating like such a Streisand effect, you know, where people were sort of attracted to, you know, the fact that I just disappeared without warning. If I just explained myself, there would have been less questions, you know, would have been less weird rumors like that, you know. I didn't know about that rumor. That's funny. I know one of the rumors was that my mom forced me to close down the channel. I know about that one. That one's pretty funny.
I remember reading that one too. Yeah, I remember, like, I don't even remember where I found it. I was just searching for, like, STIMPYLAND stuff. I think I was trying to find, like, some of your old videos, and I found, like, some dude who had, like, a website that had, like, screenshots of your comments and, like, comments that I posted, and, like, it was ridiculous.
Is that shit still around, you think?
Dude, I don't know, maybe. I don't even, like, I found it, like, probably, like, 2-3 years
probably
ago,
not then.
so, like, it would probably be hard to find.
That sounds pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
See, I find that shit hilarious now. At the time, I would not have found that funny, though. I'm kind of glad I didn't know at the time, because I would have not been happy. But, yeah, I can handle that shit now. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Fucking...
Alright, okay. This isn't it, but this is another one that you'll have to check out later. I'll post it here in the Discord, and you can read through it. It's really mean to you. Let's just put it that way. I don't know. You might have read it.
Let me see. Here, let's read this. Why not?
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. Okay, Stimpy is a coward, a jerk. And I'm not gonna post the. I'm just gonna read it. I'm not gonna post the fucking.
Okay.
What is it? I'm not gonna like post the guy's like name or whatever, because this is like from like a few years ago. So don't worry. Like
that's from 2016.
I don't fucking hate this guy. Don't worry. Okay. This is a few years ago, and a lot of this shit, you know, some of it might be justified, some of it's probably just retarded, but, you know, I think I said this before in another episode, like, I was on both the receiving end and the, you know, dealing end of, like, a lot of mean comments, so, like, I kind of get both perspectives, you know? Because when I was a shitty little kid, I used to do this dumb shit, too. It's dumb, but, you know, whatever. Okay, Stimpy is a coward, a jerk, and an idiot, all very true. I hate Stimpy as a person. Not as a channel. The vids are funny and well edited. Okay, this is getting weird. What does he say? His favorite game ever is Spyro the Dragon, but he doesn't explain why. In his review of the game, he made it seem like he was going to explain it, but he... Shut the fuck up, Amino app. He was going to get explained, but he didn't. He literally cyberbullies people in the comment section of his vids. He even shows it in his videos. Oh, yeah. Fucking... Oh, God. Oh, no. Fucking... What is it? Imagine yourself as Crash Legend 25. I don't want to read this anymore. That just fucking depresses me. You guys know exactly what... Well, Liam knows exactly what I'm referring to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a comment on the first Ratchet Cortex video.
That's... Ugh. I fucking feel retarded for that, but you know what? You know what? That was then and this is now, and we're happy people now, so let's not think about that.
Yeah. Like I said, fucking, this is not a happy post. Rips it decently long.
Yeah, it's not even worth it. Who cares? Fucking... What was I gonna say? I got distracted by that. God damn it. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. I don't remember what it was. Fuck. Oh yeah, you know, the fact that I had, like, sort of deleted the videos, it created this obvious, like, Streisand effect. You know? And fucking, it's like, it's just weird, you know, like, why I didn't see that coming. You know, the fact that I'm like... What am I trying to say?
I like he also... I'm going back to the article, but he straight up lies about what I said, because I talked about it in stream once, and he straight up, like, paraphrased what I said. But it says here, bottom down, it says... He made fun of Crash Legend in both his Crash Bash review and his blah blah blah. Batman reveals that Stimpy did 89% of the scripting in their Crash Twinsanity review they did together, which he did, but that was mostly because I was lazy. And I trusted you with the script and I revised it, which he doesn't mention. And it says, so basically the video is supposed to be a Batman video with Stimpy as a guest. Not exactly true. But it was the other way around. If that wasn't enough proof, then guess what? He spells what wrong. Batman also says that the vid didn't give his true opinion about Crash Twinsanity. The vid said Batman thought it was average, but really he thinks it's the best Crash game ever, which is a complete lie. I think 2 or 3 probably is the best Crash game.
And also you said at the time your opinion was different. So this stream probably took place well after it. Yeah.
And even then, like, I've never thought Twinsanity was the best game. I've always thought like 2 or 3 is probably the best. It's like a tie. But yeah, showing that Stimpy forced his opinion about the game into the vid.
What the fuck? Dude, I just had a gun to your fucking head. I've had a gun to his head the whole time. Yeah. He's my puppet. You know? He's my fucking puppet. He just says everything I want him to, like a good little boy. Like a good little girl. No, but I was gonna say,
yeah.
It's so stupid.
People on the internet are crazy.
I feel like that's like kind of an exception though. Like I feel like most of the comments I got that I couldn't handle were just harmless bullshit. That's honestly just harmless bullshit too. Like who cares? But you know.
Yeah. As a YouTuber, I have gotten some weird things.
Yeah.
Like conspiracy theories with other YouTubers, weird fucking fanfics with other YouTubers. It's
pretty weird.
Internet's a weird place.
I've never had I don't think there have been any fanfics. Maybe there were. I have no idea.
I think I've had 2 separate fanfics about me and other YouTubers.
It's pretty hot, dude.
Yeah, it was weird.
Dude, I saw them. I started jerking off.
I don't know if I'd call it hot.
Yeah. No, but I was gonna say something. Fuck. What was I gonna say? Shit. No, I was trying to say.
You got distracted.
Yeah, I get distracted easily. That's the thing. It doesn't help when I got your ass reading these dumb comments. Fucking. No, I created this sort of Streisand effect. You know, people were sort of attracted to this because I tried to hide it. You know, and it bothered me a lot that you would still get a ton of. All these videos were popping up in the search results for the STIMPYLAND, and I was still getting a ton of views and shit, you know? That shit bothered me a lot. You know, but now it's kind of funny because now that stuff doesn't bother me, you know? Now, because I've actually spoken to the people that run the re-upload channels, and I've coordinated with them, and, you know, I've, given them, you know, the seal of approval, allowing them to sort of, you know, host their own, host my content and shit, you know? Kind of just pass the torch to them, you know?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is now, if you search up the STIMPYLAND, a lot of the commentaries come up. Which is just funny, you know? Yeah. It's just kind of one of those things. It's it's kind of become a big thing with my
just YouTube algorithm, right? It's newer shit. People have been watching it. That's how it works.
It's great, you know?
You used to be able to just type Crash Twinsanity and our video would be top video. Now it's not even there. Shit changes so fast.
With all the YouTube algorithms and shit. See, it's just funny because, you know, that's sort of been a big thing with my take on life. My philosophy has always just been, you know, the best way to sort of, you know, get past something, if you have you know, some sort of problem in your life that hasn't been addressed, you know, you face it head on, you know, and you just confront it like that. You confront it directly, you know, stare it dead in the face, and then you can move past it, you know. And even after, you know, a lot of the sort of anxiety had sort of, you know, subsided, and I kind of, you know, got over the sort of, you know, the whole there was this anxiety, you know, people are trying to find me and shit, you know, or the fact that, you know, I'm just out in the public, you know, that people are talking about the STIMPYLAND and stuff. There was a lot of anxiety that came with that, you know. With time, you know, you can only be so anxious about that for so long. That just passed with time, you know, as all things do. But you know, there still was a little bit of, you know, I was a little still, you know, reserved, still a little cautious about those videos, you know. Not sure what to think, you know, and it did kind of feel awkward for me, you know, seeing people talk about the STIMPYLAND and seeing STIMPYLAND videos, you know. That felt really awkward for me until I started doing these commentaries, you know. I fucking faced the videos, you know. That's also why I was very nervous to do the first episode, because I still had a bit of that anxiety about these videos, you know. But then I face it head on, you know, and I ended up, you know, I can move past it, you know. It's kind of the idea, you know, you do, you know, it's like in Pinocchio, you know. Pinocchio does all this shit, you know. Then his father's in the fucking whale, and then he has to go and rescue his father. You know, it's like that. I go and I resurrect the fucking dead content. There you go, you know? All this archetypal shit. It's pretty cool. Think about life and stuff. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting very sentimental on the STIMPYLAND commentaries right now. Well, yeah, fuck. It's just been really crazy doing this. It's been a very positive experience. It's been really cool to watch these videos again. And, yeah. You know? And I'll probably do more stuff later. And hey, you know what? To all the people that have been, you know, my fans, for all these years, thank you so much for watching. You know, it's been fun, you know, coming back to these videos and sort of looking at them again, and I was able to really, you know, pick them apart and, you know, find stuff that was actually good, you know, and understand why you people cared so much when I left. You know? It's been good.
Yeah.
It's, you know, very eye-opening.
Yeah. You can come back 5 years from now when we do a commentary on the commentary video, and he talks about how he loves Twinsanity and it's his favorite game because his opinion changed.
And you
again.
hate it,
yeah. And I'll hate it.
There you go. But it's been really fun.
And Liam will spend the whole time praising Titans.
Yeah, and I'll be burping and farting the whole time.
He just says yeah a lot too.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. You know, good old Death Grips reference.
Yeah.
But
Very cool.
Yeah, but thanks to
So
all the
is that
people.
it?
I want to wrap this up now. Thanks to all the people, that have been watching me, for this time. It's been really fun, and to the people, it's something that I think the most positive thing that happened to me was I got a comment from a guy. I think it was Hermani or something like that. Guy that said, he used to be like the guy in that rant that you posted, Badman. The fuck the STIMPYLAND, I hate him. He used to be like that, and then he kind of just learned to he grew up, and he mellowed out, and then he kind of came back to my videos and was like, wow, I didn't expect, it's just kind of been cool, seeing you sort of mature, and evolve, and it's kind of helped me to sort of mature and evolve too, and that was probably the most positive thing to come out of all this, is the people that sort of hated my stuff, coming around and they actually love me, but I don't have any sort of resentment towards them, it's been great, The fact that, people that, want to shit on my old videos and stuff, you're like, you know what, it's been so long, it's like, I'm not upset anymore, And it's good, it's been such an incredibly positive experience, and I'm so grateful to have, a good fan base, to have good people like that guy, and there have been some others I've seen as well, people being like, oh wow, that was really cool of you to come around and, change your ways like that, I'm very grateful to have people like that. So yeah, that's been very sort of spiritually uplifting for me. It's been just overwhelmingly positive. So I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for that shit. It's been sincerely, a lot of fun doing these. And yeah. Badman, do you have anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
Subscribe to the Badman Land, and I'll give you 7 out of 10 subscribes.
10 out of 7 subscribes, you mean to say? Nice. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about sort of
besides that, it's just it was great to look at the video again, and I'm gonna have to go back and check some of your other commentaries when I get the time.
You definitely should. Some of them are pretty good.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think one is my favorite.
We made that video almost 5 years ago now, I think.
It's crazy, dude. Man. Time fucking flies like that.
Yeah, it's nice to look back at it again with the person you made it with, and kind of shoot the shit on how it was made, and then have a third wheel there to make fun of you too, because you're both idiots.
That's me.
It's pretty nice. What I do. But yeah, I've just been super grateful to the fans watching and stuff, and just the fact that there are people that actually still give a shit all these years later. It's been pretty great. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. Liam, what about you?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that, very, very fun making these videos and stuff like that. So thank you everybody for watching.
Now get the fuck out of my house!